everyone, welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. Well, we're really pleased to have Julie Rogerson live for you tonight. Now, she has been in the kitchen before and she made a most fantastic makeup bag. You all loved it. You've also done something else. What else have you been in?
Yeah, I did the Santa paws, so it was like the little further Christmas themed dog coming out of a cake.
Yes.
And Christmas stocking as well.
I was racking my brains what it was she was doing because I knew you were here twice before. Anyhow, Julie's down there, social distancing, so I'll move out of the way shortly. But she's been here today doing her very first class in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen, and I'll have to tell you, it was fantastic. And the ladies in that class, I'm sure they'll definitely tell you. So this was the one that we put on the photograph. But we always know with all our tutors, when they come in, they always end up adding other extra little bits of embellishment. So they make it look as though it's nice and simple, and then when you go live, they go, oh, actually, let's do this, let's do this. So I just want to show you the cake. And it's just amazing. I mean, just look at this. You would think that you've just covered this with sugar paste, but loads of artwork and texturing and all sorts of hints and tips how to get the actual effect of this. Is definitely well worth joining up for the class for. And it's pretty special, this cake as well, because it has a front door for the grand entrance and a back door for those who work at the back and have to nip out the back. So look at that, they get the soil entrance to trod on, and then these get the lovely little cobblestones. So we've got a window in there as well, window, door, and Julie's own words, we pimped it up nice and pink, the front door, which I absolutely love. What do you call these little things, Julie? The round one?
The knot.
The knot, is that what you call it?
Yes.
Sorry,
that's what we call it in Yorkshire.
Well, it is a knot, isn't it? It's a knot in the wood, but I couldn't think what it was called.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So there you go.
We renamed it into a fairy mansion.
Did you?
Yeah, it's not a fairy tree house anymore, it's a fairy mansion.
There we go. So we've gone from tree house to mansion, but it's absolutely fabulous. If you want to join this class, and the ladies who are on it today, they will tell you, definitely well worth it. In fact, 2 husbands today saw the cakes and they said they could do the next class. So, and I'll tell you about those in a minute. But it's on the website, it's £30 the class, it's recorded, it's all there. You can take it at your own speed, do it at your own pace. And I think you'll certainly you'll definitely think it's worthwhile. And I'm going to get Julie to tell you a little bit more about it in a minute. I've also got 2 more classes for Julie, which is a baby changing bag, which she'll tell you about. And I've also just put on her next class for April, and she'll tell you about that as well. And then after that, we're going to start our little demonstration for you for tonight. Do have Simon on camera. Hi, Simon.
Hi, Carol.
Happy as usual. Hey? And I can't tell you what colour his beard is because he started wearing his mask behind his screen all the time, because behind his screen he doesn't have to wear his mask, but now he wears it all the time. He does tell me it's to keep him... He tells me he keeps him warm. So anyhow, so I'm going to move over there. I'm going to let Julie come in, talk to you, have a great night, and we'll see you later. There, Julie, sorry.
Here I am. So you have to look down your screen a little bit now because I'm short. So hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. So as Carol was saying, today was my first class here over at Sugar and Crumbs. We've had a brilliant time. Obviously I had a really good fun day making this cake. We actually packed more into it than we were originally intending, which was fabulous. We've got some little toadstools here that we made as well. I'll tell you a bit more about what we're doing this evening later on, but it's a little bit woodland themed as well, tonight's demo. We also looked at making a cute little fairy model. It's been a long day, sorry. A fairy model here at the front. So using some really simple modelling techniques that you can then take on and create different models yourself. There's also, obviously there's going to be a couple of PDF downloads in the group as well for you, just to help out with making some of the models that we went through. We also did a little hedgehog here at the front. The ladies named him Eddie, and we had Daisy the fairy, if I remember rightly. And as Carol said, we decided, when I did the original cake for you, this one here, this was the Katie Sue mould that was out. It's been out quite some time, the enchanted door with the matching window as well. But then after I'd done the sample, looking on the posts, and suddenly up popped the new Katie Sue mould. So of course we had to give that one a go as well. It really works well with this theme of cake. So again, we popped that at the front. And what fairy house would be complete without a pink door?
Yeah, we have to have a pink door in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen.
Absolutely, and I've even got my matching pink apron on tonight as well to show it. Yeah. My grey
I
one
love
was
the way we
absolutely
convert
filthy.
everyone to pink.
Well, to be honest, in my business, pink is my brand colours anyway. So
Yeah, brilliant.
yeah,
Good.
we're matching. I fit in well. I suit the theme. So yeah, so as I say, lots and lots of techniques in here. We went through other things that you can do using these same techniques in the class, and it's great. The ladies absolutely had a fabulous time. So I'm going to pop this one out of the way, and then I'll show you the other two classes that I'm going to be doing here in March and in April.
Well,
So-
Denise Newberry, who was
Yeah.
actually on the class today, said it was absolutely amazing. She loved every single minute of it.
Oh, brilliant. I'm just going to move this one out of the way, and then I'll put that one
Yeah.
where that was. Bear with me.
Perfect. You've got a lovely audience, running about 270, 275 at the moment,
Oh,
so well
lovely.
done.
Brilliant. So
They're
let's-
always a lovely audience,
Yeah,
Carol.
no, they are always a lovely audience. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Diane Cocker, she says the class today was blooming fantastic, and let me tell you, it would be cheap at twice the price. Don't think about it, just buy it.
Oh,
well,
brilliant.
you couldn't get a
Thank
better
you.
review than
No,
that, could you?
absolutely. Thank you.
I think a lot of the ladies were actually really surprised all the things they learnt today, because I was watching while I was working today, and I've got to be honest, I was really surprised at some of the techniques you showed
Yeah.
people. They were really different.
Absolutely.
Very
And we
good.
crammed a lot in. Absolutely,
you
we
did.
did. Yeah. We never stopped. It was just so if I'm looking a bit tired and bedraggled today, they're working me hard.
Yeah.
So
Jackie
this-
Adams says she loved it as well
Oh,
today.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Thank you, Jackie. And we had a couple of ladies working alongside us today as well, and their cakes. I've had a quick look. I haven't had a chance to comment in the group, but the results that they brought today were just fabulous. They're really,
Yeah.
I'm so proud. I'm like a mum with my little. So proud of them. Brilliant. And I can't wait to see. I know a lot of the other ladies are making them later in the week, and I can't wait to see what they've
Well,
done.
a lot of the ladies who were on the class today are just saying they thoroughly enjoyed it. So there's
Brilliant.
quite a lot of comments here with people just saying it was fantastic.
Oh, super. Thank you, ladies. So this is the next one that I'm going to be coming down for. So in a month's time, on the 1st of March, I'm going to be doing this baby changing bag. Again, it's another one of those cakes where there's a lot of techniques involved, and you will also be able to apply these techniques to other cakes as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be a baby changing bag. You can change it up a little bit and use it for lots and lots of different themes, but you've got the basic techniques here to then go on and personalise it however you wish. Again, there's lots and lots going on. So we've got some carving of cake, we've got covering, we've got making all the little accessories. We're working with Rice Krispie cereal treats. So I'm going to be showing you how to make them, how to model with them, some little hand modelling down here for the rattle. But again, you can change up the colours, you can change up what you include. Once you've got that basic knowledge, you can just keep going. We've got a few more, if I switch it around, a few more accessories at the back as well. So obviously this one's themed, you could use it for like a baby shower, maybe a christening. Quite a lot of people now, we were chatting in the group earlier, and it didn't happen, even the baby showers didn't happen when I had my children, but there was also a lot of people having gender reveal parties now. So something like this would be fabulous for that. You could do the bag and the accessories in neutral colours, and then when they cut into the cake, you could use pink or blue buttercream, or you could put some sprinkles inside, anything like that, colour the sponge up, and that would be fabulous for a gender reveal as well. So let's move that one out of the way.
Well, they're loving that. They're loving
that
both
one.
cakes.
Brilliant.
A few ladies are saying that they're already booked on this class,
Oh,
and there's
fab.
others saying that they want to book on it.
Lovely.
And do get on that fairy class. You'll watch the ladies' comments today. They will tell you how amazing it was. So we are hanging this cake precautiously on the edge here.
Yeah. There'll be no leaping around from me tonight, I've got to make sure.
No dancing.
And
No dancing.
I'm
No
going to,
dancing, Carol.
and I'm going to ask Julie when she comes and does the baby bag. She does it all pink for us, so bear that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely, not a
Not that
problem.
we've got any baby girls on the way. Oh, actually, I have got a baby girl on the way.
There we go, yeah.
Gosh,
we can
that's
do
good
it pink.
thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's hope she comes in time for the 1st of March. And so, yes, we've got a baby girl on the way.
Yeah, no problem. So we can do that in pink, that's fine. And again, you may have noticed the cakes do look quite large. 2 things to bear in mind. I'm really small. Okay, I keep saying I'm tiny, I'm less than 5 foot. So I make any cake look big. And the other thing as well is obviously you can scale it down. I'm sharing with you the size that I've made, but by all means make it smaller. And we'll chat through that in the class as well about the sizes that you could use and how to reduce it down. So this is the one that I'm coming to do on the 19th of April. So there's a little bit of a gap in between because of Easter. I'm coming on the 19th to do this one. This is a vintage style dress on a mannequin. It's a gravity defying cake, so there is an internal structure in here, because you'll notice at the bottom here, look, I can put my hands through. It's like a magic trick.
Yeah, it's not magic. It's not an illusion.
No, it's not. My hands, I can't go all the way through because there's a structure, but yeah, I can. So this is, we'll be looking at an internal structure for this one. It's ideal for somebody who wants to have a go at doing something with structure, wants to do the gravity defying, but is a little bit concerned about how to go about it. It's an ideal starting point, this one. It's a fairly simple structure once you know how to do it, and it can be adjusted to lots and lots of different designs. I've done quite a few different cakes using the same structure as that I used for this one.
Well, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to join you on that class and do this
Brilliant.
one with you alongside you.
Fab.
I don't join many classes because I'm too busy, but one or two I do pick out. But I like doing the cake illusionist classes, so I do them with her, and I'm definitely going to have a look at this one. Yeah. But you can make the structure.
Honestly, Carol, the structure is easy, and I will be sharing some links on how you can get some of the parts that we need for the structure pre-done. Okay, so don't worry, it's nothing technical. You don't need
the structure, is that what you're saying?
you don't need lots of tools and equipment, so don't panic about that one. It's not a DIY show, it's definitely a cake show. So as I say, we'll go through the internal structure, we'll go through some carving of cake, we'll make the little bit at the top here, so this is all edible. We'll learn about pleating fabric to make it look like a dress. We're also going to do hand painting, so the flower design is actually painted. Karen today thought it was a transfer or something, but I said no, it is actually hand painted, and this is coming from somebody who self-confessed, I cannot paint, I cannot draw. I actually, funny story, I did take GCSE art years and years and years ago as a little bit of I had a bit of a tantrum. They wouldn't let me do typing. This was back in the day when you could type at school. And they said I had to do something more academic.
You sound as old as me there. I thought you were a lot younger than me.
Well, I don't know, how old you are. So yeah, they told me I had to do something more academic, so I rebelled and I chose art. I couldn't draw, couldn't paint, didn't do very well, but I can paint on a cake in a style like this, so I'm going to teach you all of that. And also this wooden floorboard design on the cake board.
I love that wooden floorboard.
Which, again, as I was saying to the ladies earlier, I use it on as many cakes as I can. Every cake I do, if it can go on a wooden floorboard cake board, it goes on a wooden floorboard cake board, because it is, I just love that technique. So I'll just quickly spin it around there. We're going to do a nice little sugar bow at the back, look, as well, just to finish it off.
Fantastic. Well, fantastic. This class has just gone on the website. Now, the Facebook group for this has not been made yet. I've literally just put the class on just before we went live. So you can buy the class, but you'll have to wait for the link. We'll send you the link sometime tomorrow afternoon.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's pop that to one side. But as I say, all three cakes are perfect for anybody who is wanting to dabble in carved cakes and have a try at gravity defying cakes, because they are, I'm pitching them as an easy cake. Okay, so
what would you say to people who said, I would love to make something like that, but I don't think I could?
You can, because I can, so you can. Everybody can, and I will teach you how to do it. Absolutely. Yeah. Just have a go.
You know what, have confidence in Julie. You should have confidence in all our tutors. But generally, when I've asked all the tutors to come, they've all asked me, what level do you want to be at? And all of them, I've said beginner's level, and all of them have done that. And to be fair, everyone's achieved them. The only one who's just moving up a notch is Hannah, the cake illusionist, and that's because she's done several classes now. She's feeling that everybody's biting at the chomp now to go to that next one. So if you want to follow Hannah, the cake illusionist, she does we've got classes on our website of hers, but believe me, when you've done hers, you are like, oh, you know what, I've got to give it a go. So Julie's brought these classes in. I'm telling you now, you'll be able to do them.
Yeah,
all
absolutely.
The tutors are brilliant.
Yeah, you'll have no problem. Have confidence not only in the tutors, but have confidence in yourself, because you can do more than what you think you can. Absolutely. Okay, so now we've looked at those tonight.
Oh, you've already had one booked on already.
Oh,
so Mary's
brilliant.
booked on.
Yeah. Is that for the mannequin?
Yeah.
Ah, fabulous. Excellent. So yeah, tonight we're going to have a go at these woodland themed cupcake toppers. So I'll get them out, we'll do them a few at a time, and I'll pop them on the board as I'm working. But what I thought was it would be quite nice with the class that I was doing today, with it being the woodland theme, quite nice to tie in the live along the same theme as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just take these three out first. Put those to one side. A second. Okay, so we're going to work on these
Let me just
three.
interrupt.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we were having a bet who would notice, and Lynn Woodward, the prize goes to you. The lamps have gone walkabouts. Simon said they'll notice they've gone. I said I freaking know they would. But basically they need new bulbs in. So 2 of them, the bulbs have gone, or the fuse is gone. So I've taken them out the way until I can get some bulbs.
Oh, I don't know. You can't get anything past them, can you,
Can
Carol?
you react? No, there's me thinking they'll like that display there.
Oh dear. Okay, so we've got 3 cute little woodland animal cake toppers here. Let me turn them around so you can see them the right way up now. There we go. There we have them. Okay, now to make these, I'm using this FMM Mix and Match face cutter. Sorry, I was just reading that off the packet because it's quite a long description. So it's fabulous cutter here, it's okay. And it's really good at making lots of different animal faces, and you can use it for lots and lots of things. Just let your imagination run riot. It has been out for a little while, and to be honest, I've never really used it. I bought it especially to make these cupcakes, so I thought it was really cute and just worth having a little play with. And the really good thing about it as well is that on the back of the packet, you can just see that overhead perhaps, there we go. So on the back of the packet here you can see there's lots and lots of different animal designs that you can make. So there's jungle animals, there's penguins and dogs, all kinds of things. So it gives you some really, really good ideas for some animals and creatures that you can make yourself just using this one same cutter, which I thought was quite cute.
It's a great cutter that. There's actually 3 of them. So I've just got to update the stock. So I forgot to place my FMM order today, but I will do. So I'm not sure if I'm in stock of these, but there's actually a large one, there's this one, and there's a funny face one as well.
Right.
So there's actually a really big large one, and they're great, these cutters, and seriously you should give them a go.
Yeah.
What you can do with them, they're fab.
Yeah, and I think for children as well. So if any of you have got children or grandchildren, I think these would be brilliant.
The children will find them so easy. It's also be like that. How do you do it?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, we've reached over 320, so it's fluctuating between 270 and 320, which is great audience.
Yeah, that's fab.
I'd like to say hello to all our YouTubers.
Oh, hello YouTubers.
Ooh. Hi, Jill, Elaine.
Oh, it's the regulars then.
All our regulars.
Great. Hello, regulars. So don't forget to like and share to be in with a chance to win. Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. And a £25 voucher. If you're new tonight, please say hello. We are really a friendly bunch. All the ladies here, lots of them have only got to know themselves from being on this live. They don't actually know each other in person. They've just met each other through watching the lives. So don't be frightened of putting your hands up, saying hi. They will all greet you really well, seriously. And join in the banter. Let us know that you're new. Let us know where you are. We'll give you a little shout out. And it seems that we've got into a bit of a thing with saying happy birthday. So I saw that it was Maureen Bailey's birthday, I think yesterday or the day before, and I missed that. So happy birthday, Maureen.
It must be somebody's birthday every day.
And it's got to be somebody's birthday every day. So I can't sing happy birthday every day, and you won't want to hear me sing happy birthday every day.
No,
but happy birthday to everyone whose birthday it is today.
Okay, so I've got some white sugar paste here. Obviously for the cupcake toppers that are sitting on top of the cake, like these flat toppers, I tend to add a little bit of Tyler's powder just to help them to dry and firm up so that they sit nicely and keep their shape on the cupcake. So I've just got here.
Well, I meant to give you some Karen Davis paste.
Oh, you was, wasn't you? Yeah.
Do you want Karen Davis paste or do you want to use
I don't mind, I'm easy.
It doesn't matter to me.
No.
You've got Tyler.
I've got Tyler.
Yeah.
So what you can do, I'm using platinum paste. So you can add some Tyler powder to this. This is just the Rainbow Dust Tyler powder. Or if you want to, the Karen Davis sugar paste is really quite firm, so I wouldn't add any of that, the Tyler Dust to that. That one will dry quite well. And again, if you're making the cupcake toppers in advance, sort of a few days in advance, just regular sugar paste should dry out if it's quite a small topper. Okay, so I'm just kneading the paste nice and soft, and I'm just going to pour a little bit of the Tyler powder in. Now, if you're using quite an amount of sugar paste, the actual ratio is 1/4 teaspoon to 250 grams of sugar paste. But because I'm just using a small amount, I'm not going to start weighing it and dividing it down. So I just kind of shake a little sprinkle on, and it works just fine. So I'm just going to knead that through, and then we're going to start with the white paste to make the badger, and then we're going to be colouring some paste for the fox, and I have some red and some black already coloured paste, like the pre-coloured, for making the ladybird, and the little bits on the badger as well. Okay, so pop that to one side. So as the ladies found out today, I can be a little bit clumsy, so I try to put lids on things, I try to put them out of the way, just to make sure. So what I'm going to do, obviously I'm not going to need all of that, because the ideal thing with this cutter is that cuts out your cupcake topper as well, so you don't need anything extra for that. So I'm just going to roll it into a bit of a ball. I'm just flatten it down. I'm just going to roll it out on the board here. Okay. And you want to be looking, people often ask me when they're doing cupcake toppers, how thick should you roll your sugar paste? So I think, well, the way I think of it myself is how much sugar paste do I actually want to eat? Because if...
That's a good way.
Well, yeah, because otherwise people are all different, aren't they? I find it quite sweet, so I will roll mine a little bit thinner. So this one here is probably about 3 millimetres in thickness. If you like sugar paste and you've got a really, really sweet tooth, by all means roll it a little bit thicker, okay? So some people go by the pound coin rule and say to roll it out to about the thickness of a pound coin. I don't know how thick they are. I don't know. Pound coins. It seems now, since coronavirus, everybody uses cards. I've no idea anymore.
No, I don't know. I haven't seen money in a long time.
No, I just don't use it. So I would say...
Have you seen any money?
Nobody uses it anymore.
I know, I don't go anywhere.
No, this is true.
Well, I suppose, yeah, but they still have to use a pound coin for the supermarket trade.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, fair enough. So as I say, about roughly 3 millimetres is absolutely fine. It's about the thickness I would go for. And then the back of the cutter here is actually your circle cutter for cutting out the shape.
I think really a lot of people don't realise that, you know. Yeah. I think they just turn it over and start cutting out shapes. They don't actually realise what that bit's
for. So it's everything in one. You don't need anything else. Okay, so I've just cut out there the disc that's going to be for the badger. I'm going to cut out all 3 discs first, and they can start firming up a little bit just before we start adding all the details in. So for the fox, he's kind of a terracotta orangey colour. So I've actually got the Pro Gel terracotta coloured paste here, the gel colour. And I'm just going to add a little bit in. Now remember, these colours are really quite strong and quite vibrant. So you just add a little bit first, knead it in, and then we can always add a little bit more. It's easy to add more paste in, more colour in, than it is to then take it out.
Well, Viv was just saying you'd be surprised how many people are still using money in supermarkets.
Yeah.
I didn't think they were taking it anymore. I thought you had to use your cards.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, my daughter does work in retail and they do still accept cash.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. I used to pay cash for everything. I used to hate paying by card, but yeah.
Oh, well, I hate shopping. Believe it or not, I must be one of the very few women who hate shopping.
Really?
I shop online, that's it. I do my clothes once a year.
So you can see there, it's still quite pale. It's more of an apricot colour, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. Now, should you find that you accidentally add too much and you make your paste a very, very bright colour or a very dark colour that you don't want, the easiest thing to do is take a chunk of white and add a little bit of this then into the white and just kind of balance it up. Because if you've coloured quite a bit of paste and it's really dark, you have to add a lot of white paste then, and you're going to end up finding that you've got so much paste coloured that you don't need. So just start off with a small amount is the best way. And I can see now that this is actually colouring through quite nicely, and it's starting to colour up well.
I love these little cake toppers. They are lovely, aren't they?
I think they're just, like I say, they just appeal to children, won't they? It spoke to the inner child in me.
So I can see that there's been lots of newbies. I've not caught your names yet because everybody's saying hello to you. So I can see people saying hello to people. So hello all the newbies. So Nikki King, you're asking when the Sugar Paste Direct Black is back in stock. It's been ordered and they've told me I should be getting a delivery on Wednesday. So I'll double check with them tomorrow, and if it's definitely coming on Wednesday, I'll put it into stock tomorrow. I've updated the chocolate. I've updated loads of stuff. I've updated Colour Mill, Chocolate Drip. Oh, I don't know, I've been at it all day today putting stuff in stock. So do go and have a look. If it's not in stock, it means that the supplier hasn't got it. Tall boxes are back in stock. I'm dizzy.
You've had a busy day, a busy day. So as I say, once you lift it up off the board, if there's any little raggy edges, just tap them gently with your finger. Sometimes it can just go a little bit out of shape when you lift the paste up. Okay. So that's going to be for our fox, and then we're going to use some red. So I've got some Renshaw Extra here.
So question, does the Rainbow Dust gel colour develop over time like the Colour Splash? Yes it does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
It does in buttercream, definitely. Yeah. I don't know how it does in sugar
to be honest,
paste.
In sugar paste, quite often it won't go a lot darker. Sometimes it does dry a little bit darker, but it's quite true to colour in the pastes. But yeah, definitely in the buttercream, it does develop.
And the Calibo chocolate is back in stock.
Ooh, yay.
So Ruby's back in stock and the milk chocolate's back in stock. If it isn't, I did upload it, so I'll double check, but it should be back in stock.
Okay, so for this Renshaw Extra, it is a little bit of a firmer paste, so I'm not actually going to add any extra Tyler to this one. So just keep the paste moving around as you roll in, just to make sure. I mean, obviously these boards are fab, so it's not sticking at all, but just keep moving your paste around. If you're not using one of the work boards, like one of the non-stick boards, just pop a little bit of corn flour or a little bit of icing sugar on your worktop before you roll out to make sure that your paste doesn't stick. And then just simply put the cutter on, give it a little bit of a twist, take off the excess paste, and then you can just peel that off, like so. So we've got our 3 cupcake toppers there started. You can't see the white one very well there, but it is there, I promise. There we go, you can see it much better now. There he is. So that's the start of the toppers. The reason I'm rolling those out first is, like I say, they can just start to firm up and they can start drying whilst we're working, because obviously we do need them to hold their own shape in order to put them on top of the cupcakes. Normally what I would do if I was doing these at home is I would make these cupcake toppers the day before, and then the following day obviously then ice them, give them time to firm up before you ice them and pop them on the cupcakes. But I'm not back again tomorrow, so I'm going home. Yes. I'm going home.
I feel as though you've moved in. You've arrived yesterday, not going till tomorrow.
I know.
You feel as though you've moved in.
You should have seen how much stuff I brought. I posted a photo in the group of all the things that I'd packed up ready. It was ridiculous. It was like I was moving home. I'm going back much later, shall I say. Leaving it all here for you, Carol. So the one thing that I will do with the red one, which is going to be the ladybird, is we just need to make this indent along the back. If you could just do the overhead one. Yeah. There we go. So you can see here, look, this is just the where the wings park. So they have like the 2 wings on the back. So a couple of different ways you can do this. You can use a Dresden tool, and we're just going to use the narrow end of the Dresden tool, and all you would do is just run that just along the middle of the cupcake like so. Another way you could do it is you could use a sharp knife, and just be careful if you're going to use a knife. I would use the back of the knife rather than the sharp blade, and you can just rock that along the paste. If you think that you're a little bit worried that you can't draw a straight line with your Dresden tool, because it can be quite tricky, you can just use the back of the knife there and that will draw a nice straight line for you. Just as I say, be careful, don't go all the way through and cut your cupcake topper in half. So that's on there. In fact, while we've got the ladybird, let's do that one because that one's a really simple, quick one to do. So again, I've got some black sugar paste here, which is the Renshaw Extra again. And let's excuse my rattling. Get a little piece of that out. I'm just going to knead that through. I'm just going to take that bit off. It's got a little bit dry. There we go, because we only need a small amount. And again, this is going to show you how you use the cutter to make all of the little shapes. The small circles I've got a different cutter for, but the majority of the shapes we're going to be making with that one FMM cutter. And because obviously these pastes, we needed to add the Tyler to the base of the toppers, but the little decorations that we put on the top, we're not adding any to that because that can stay soft, it doesn't really matter at all. Right, so now that's nice and soft, we're going to roll that out. And again, this time I'm going to roll it thinner because obviously we're adding more sugar paste on top of the sugar paste that we've already got. So if you start rolling out great thick chunks, you're going to end up with more sugar paste than you are cupcake. So the decorations that we're putting on, we're rolling out thinner. So probably to about 1 or 2 millimetres. And the beauty with the Renshaw Extra is that you can roll it out really, really quite thin. You can see that it's probably about 1 millimetre, I think. I'd need to put my glasses on to tell properly. Okay, so again, what we're going to do, we're going to make this little bit here at the front. Okay, so I'm going to start off by cutting out a full circle. And then we actually use the edge of the cutter, just, let's see which way there. Okay, so we're just going to cut like, so it looks like a crescent here, look like a moon. And if you cut that like that, it just cuts out, you see, look, just like a little, what shape is it? It's not an oval, is it?
I don't know, what shape is that, Simon?
I'm tired.
I can't remember.
Okay.
You can't remember?
No.
Go on, let me have a look at it again, sorry. A leaf shape.
A leaf. Cutting out a leaf shape.
Is it an oval shape? It's like an oval shape.
It's like an oval, but it's
not.
pointy, isn't it? I think there is a word for it, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
there is, but I can't
It's been
remember
a long day. I've
Yeah,
done
well,
a lot today.
you've been working all day, so have I. What have you been doing, Simon?
Working all day.
Have you? What have you been doing?
Is it man work? Sorry, Simon.
Taking pictures.
Oh no, that's important.
He'll be
Yes.
kidding us along, he's been working all day. He doesn't like daytimes.
So I've just popped a little bit of water. You can use edible glue as well if you like. Popped a little bit of water just at the front here, and we're just going to pop.
It's a petal shape.
Is it a petal shape?
That's what we've just been told.
Oh, okay.
I've no idea.
I don't know what the mathematical name
There is a mathematical.
Oh, is it?
I
Get
think-
you two are clever,
Yeah, no,
aren't you?
there is. I was used to be quite good at maths.
It's not a
back in the
diamond,
day.
Maria. Definitely
No.
not a diamond.
No, I think
Almond shape?
I don't know. Anyway,
I don't know. And
This
somebody's
shape,
got,
yeah.
hang on a second, Beverly Cousins. Elliptical
that's
shape?
yes.
E-double-L-I-P-I-T-I-C-A-L.
That sounds right. Yeah,
Is that how you say it, Simon? Yeah, Simon,
Yeah.
have a look. He'll put it right.
That
He'll put me
sounds-
right.
that
Come on,
sounds
come on,
about-
quick.
Yeah, what?
How do you say that word?
Elliptical shape.
Elliptical.
Oh, did I get it right? Oh, crap,
Yeah.
good on me.
Yeah, that could
Hey,
well
well
be.
done, the Beverly Cousins, eh?
Fabulous. Thank you. So then what we'll
a clever
do,
one, isn't there?
while we had this paste rolled out, what we should have done is cut out the little circle. So we'll just quickly roll the paste again. Okay. And you will find in the cutter there is a little teeny tiny circle shape there, but I have actually also got a little round plunger cutter. So if you want, you could use this one, but I'm just going to use
Heather said the same. She said, is the shape eclipse?
Eclipse. Yeah, it is that kind of shape,
Same
isn't
thing,
it?
Yeah. Oh, there's a
think
few
so.
more. They're
Sounds
pretty
like it.
clever on here, aren't they? Oh, look at these. They've been flying up.
Oh dear.
But one lady got the correct word, we believe.
Yeah, I think so. It sounds right to me. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't think
You're
it
not
is
sure?
No,
Oh.
I don't think it is an ellipse. But that's
The other lady was. Was she right?
what?
With the E-double-L. How do you say
Same
it again?
thing.
Eh?
She said the same thing.
Yeah, it's very similar.
Is it?
Yeah, ellipse and.
Well,
Yeah.
he's waking up him
I
now.
don't
He's
know.
going to be on it now. He's going to be looking research.
Are you googling it? Can you Google it? I'll just carry on. You Google. Okay, so all I'm doing here is I'm just cutting out some little teeny tiny circles, and these are going to make the spots. And we also need to cut out 2 extra ones to make the pupils for the eyes as well. So I don't know how many I've done there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we need an even number because it has to be the same on each side. They have symmetrical.
Oh, do they? How do you know
Symmetrical spots.
that? Is that us or is that a definite?
I'm pretty sure. I think.
Or is that just us?
No,
doing
it's definitely symmetrical because they are. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
because no, I do know
Definitely.
this because I used to work in a primary school.
Butterflies are.
Are they?
Yeah, butterflies definitely.
You've seen a butterfly, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, ladybirds. They have the same on each side. I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, they do.
Thank you. Thank you.
If Simon says they
If
do,
not,
they do.
Simon says.
Some have 5
Simon
on each side,
says.
Some have 7, and some
Yes.
have 3.
Yeah. They do
Sorry,
have
what
the
did you
same.
say? What did you
Some
say?
have 5, some have 7, some have 3 on each
Do you
side.
there?
Mine had 4.
You've been studying butterflies, you? Ladybirds.
I might have just made that last one up, but I think it's right.
I don't know.
3, 5 and
Well,
7.
sometimes they have 1 though, and sometimes they have 2. So no, I don't think that's right. I'm putting myself on the line here.
I've no friggin' idea.
Ex-primary school. I wasn't a
I
teacher.
like-
I was a nursery nurse.
I
but
like ladybirds.
I do,
Yeah.
and they come in different colours too.
Yeah, I like the yellow ones when they pop up.
Yeah.
But you've never noticed they have the same...
They've never
the
stayed
symmetrical-
long enough for me to sit there and count them.
So it doesn't matter how many you put on each side, but just make sure you put the same number on each side.
That's definitely true.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, wherever I put them on one side, I'm going to repeat at the opposite side.
Is that how they
So
are?
it's opposite. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there Nikki King says she knows that you can get a 3, a 5 and a 7 spot.
Fabulous.
According to her, the ladybugs.
Yeah.
Are they ladybugs? I thought they were ladybirds.
Well, they're not birds, are they?
No.
Fly. They fly though.
Yeah, but I thought they were called ladybirds. So they're called ladybugs then. All my life have I been calling them ladybirds and they're actually ladybugs.
Well, I think I've always
Ladybugs
called
is
them.
American.
I was just going to say that's the American version, isn't it? So 1, 2, 3. Oh dear. 4. So let's put 5 on each side just to make sure then, and I'll cut out 2 extra for the pupils for the eyes. So look at this, a busy.
Oh
ladybird.
yeah, there is another one with awful lot of knowledge. I love our audience, you know, and Simon. They come up with such great answers. So Maureen says they are symmetrical, although occasionally they have a random one that usually spans both wings.
Ooh.
Dodgy one, dodgy ladybird.
Ooh. Mine's not dodgy. Mine's a regular ladybird with symmetrical wings.
Oh, we've got
with
to decide now.
five, with
We've got to
five,
decide if it's a ladybird or a ladybug.
yeah, with 5. It's a ladybird. With 5 on each side, just to make sure.
Yeah.
And then, because I had only rolled out enough for 4 on each side, I'm just going to pop another couple out there.
So
You've got 5
the
on
eyes.
each side.
they are ladybirds. They are.
You've got 5 on each side.
I've done 5 on each side.
Yeah, yeah.
But on this one I only had 4 on each side, and that's what I was going to do the same
okay.
one.
Yes, you haven't got it right. It was the test. See if anybody noticed.
Yes.
I
yeah.
never noticed.
Just check. See you didn't notice. See, she
Yeah,
put
see,
that deliberately there
I
to
did.
check you were watching,
I did.
Simon.
I did.
They are called ladybirds in the UK and ladybugs in America.
Fabulous. Just going to give my hands a quick wipe. What I tend to find is when I've been using
I
particularly
didn't
black
even know you could be
paste.
bitten by a ladybird. Can you
Can
be
you?
bitten? Yeah. Angela said, "Have you never been bitten by a ladybird?" No. I like catching them. I like letting them land on you.
Kill a ladybird, who knew?
They
Hey.
don't eat you.
They don't eat. Well, they bite you. It's yeah. Ooh. I don't know now. So anyway, as I was saying, if I've been using black sugar paste, I tend to just give my hands a little bit of a wipe, because obviously the black colour does tend to stick onto your hands a little bit, the black paste, and then if you're going to go on and use white or a paler colour, you're going to end up transferring that across onto the paste. So always just have a cloth handy, and make sure you're keeping your hands clean when you're using the different colours. So as I say, I've made the 2 extra ones here for the pupils, and we're going to make the eyes now.
Hey, listen to this. In Norfolk, they're called Bishy Barnabys.
What? You sure?
There's a Bishy Barnaby,
Let's not go there.
according to Alison Underwood.
I love that.
So I've now learned that they bite you, and I've
Yeah.
never been bitten by one, and now some other part of the UK they're called Bishy Barnabys.
She Barnaby.
Imagine, I'd never be able to say that to the grander kids. I always say ladybirds.
Yeah, that's...
And you thought you were coming to learn cupcake toppers? No. This is a lesson on ladybirds. That's fabulous. I love learning new things.
That's probably very niche to that
Yeah.
particular area.
Yeah. Okay, so to make the eyes, we're going to start off with a white oval. So again, on your cutter here, look, we've got an oval shape. So I've just rolled out a small amount of white paste, and I'm just going to rub that around like that, and it's just come out. Just neaten off those edges with your fingers if it didn't cut through exactly.
Always, Viv was always told the black dots indicated the age of them.
Oh right, like the trees with the rings and things.
Don't know. I'm going to have to do a little bit of research on Wikipedia about ladybirds.
Oh gosh, I wonder what they're going to come up with the badgers and the foxes.
Don't know, I'll have to do a bit of look at them.
It's like a nature programme, isn't it? It is interesting though.
Well, I donate to Wikipedia every month, so I may as well get my money's worth.
Well, definitely. Okay, so again, I'm just neatening off any rough edges there.
Jenny Morwood, all the ladies are saying it, but Jenny Morwood says these look so easy to do and she's loved watching you make them.
Oh, brilliant. They are easy and they're quite good fun. And like I say, you do get instructions with the pack, but again, you can use your own interpretations and make your own things with different colours. I'm going to pop a little tiny bit of water just on there, just to stick the eyes in place.
Apparently they do nip you.
Alright. How strange. So I presume they must have teeth then. I'm not putting teeth on mine.
No.
No.
Yeah.
You?
Well, I must have been lucky. I don't think I've ever been one.
No, I don't think I have. And then we're just going to pop the little black pupils in. So again, same thing applies when you're using black paste. Just be careful not to put too much water. Oops, that's gone upside down.
We've got a question for Simon. It's a request, this one.
Ooh.
So
I didn't know he did requests.
Well, he knows it all.
Oh,
he knows it all. So Jackie Adams says we need to ask Simon if he knows what the cuts are in the tree that Julie made.
Now,
does she mean these cuts?
Yes, these cuts here. When we was in the class earlier, Terry had a look and she...
Don't tell him, he's supposed to be giving the answer.
Okay. The cracks in the woodwork's dried out.
No, but there's an actual name. There's an actual name for these bits, there is.
Don't worry, he's just getting on Google now and having a look.
Yeah. Now, Terry did tell us the answer, which I've forgotten. But I thought there was a really complicated word for it, but the one that Terry found was a really easy word. So I've no idea. I don't know. I'm not a botanist.
Well, apparently people thought that Emma Horses from Harlem Horses says she thought that some colours were poisonous, but they're not. They're just poisonous to dogs. Didn't know that either. Crikey, I've been living with all these beautiful little things and thought they were fantastic.
So what I've done here is I've just rolled out 2 teeny tiny little balls of white paste, and they're going to go on to just like be like the little highlights on the eyes. Sometimes it's just these little added extras that kind of really lift the cupcake and the design. So I've put a tiniest little bit of water just onto the pupil. I'm just picking it up with my finger and just patting it down into place.
Cute, isn't it?
It looks a bit cross-eyed, doesn't he?
I think we've got an answer on the oval thing. An ellipse is more rounded. A pointy oval is a versica Pisces.
I wouldn't have got that.
Is that how you say it, Simon? How would you say that? Debbie agrees.
Versica Pisces.
A versica Pisces. I'll be Googling after.
I'm a Pisces.
Yeah.
But I'm not pointy.
I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah.
I'll check it after.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is we're going to just do the mouth. So I've got some of the red sugar paste and some of the white sugar paste we've been using. And I'm just going to mix, again, just the tiniest little bit of red into the white. Now you might find if your fingers are a little bit warm and sticky, it does start to get really sticky, the paste. So I have got a cornflour pouch here that I might just dip my fingers into from time to time just to stop the paste from sticking. So I'll just give that a knead together. Oh, I thought someone was coming up with some exciting information then. No.
That is correct, actually.
What is
the Versica Pisces?
Oh, right there. So I was giving credit to everyone, and Debbie Hargreaves comes in and slaps us all.
Very good.
What did we know? What do we know?
Well, I knew now.
No. I would never have got that. I've never heard of that though.
Thanks, Debbie.
So what I've got here is a little tiny bit of the pink paste that I've just made by mixing the red, little tiny bit of red in with the white, and I'm just going to, with my finger, roll a very, very tiny thin sausage of paste, which is far too long.
They're saying now it's very therapeutic watching you make these.
Is it?
It is.
It's quite therapeutic actually making them, to be fair.
Yeah. And lots of people have got this cutter and not used it.
Oh, get it out the cupboard. Absolutely, get it out the cupboard. So this one's a little bit slippery. There we go. So I've got a really, really tiny sausage there of the pink paste, and I'm just going to kind of curl it around into a little mouth shape. And then again, the tiniest little bit of water just to hold it in place. Like so. And then onto the front it goes. Now if you have got, I didn't put it away, if you've got a set of modelling tools, you might have this little smile tool. It looks a little bit like, do you know the scoops that you used to have in the pick and mix and you used to scoop out the sweets and things? If you're my age, you'll remember. Simon probably won't.
They still have pick and mix.
Yeah, I know, but do they have them scoops with them still?
Yeah.
I suppose they do,
Well,
don't they?
Not these days, they don't have pick and mix, but...
No. But you've heard of it. Okay, so you
I see
can
what you
actually...
mean now. Yeah, they don't have pick and mix in the last year, do they?
Oh no, not now, no. Okay, so you can actually use the end of that smile tool just to shape that little mouth a little. I think just pop it there, look, and just kind of bend the paste around it. Okay. So there we have, the ladybird is done, finished. How quick and easy is that?
How lovely is that?
So that's the ladybird done. Next one we'll go for is the fox. Okay, so I'm just going to pop those bits out of the way. So again, I'm going to need some white.
They are a nice idea. If you're doing this fairy tree and then people want to give out cupcakes as well afterwards,
Yeah.
they are a nice idea to go
Yeah.
with it, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Get a little bit more white first. And especially if you've decided to go for a scaled down size of it as well, you can just pop some cupcakes in to go with it. Or if it's for a party, sometimes in the days gone by when we had parties, and in the future when we have parties, when you make it, you could do some of these cupcakes to go with it, do you know, like for the party bags for the children to take home afterwards perhaps, instead of those bags with the little plastic things in that everybody throws away.
So I don't know if anybody else is having problems. I'm not having any problems, but Halima says, Simon, the screen keeps going blurred. I've not noticed anything, but to be fair, I'm also answering questions as well.
You have no issues here.
I've not seen
Maybe
anything.
is it my hands going too quickly?
I've not seen anything personally.
Okay.
So maybe just come out your app, Halima, and come back in again.
Okay, so again for the fox, like we did for the ladybird, for the front of the face, we're going to use the back of the cutter to make the cheeks, like the little white areas on the cheeks. So we're going to cut out...
Debbie said she's not clever, she Googled it. But I'm not sure whether she's on about the shape of the ladybirds. They're all having a chat about big swarm of ladybirds. I vaguely remember something about it, but it was in the 70s when I was a baby.
We had one a couple of years ago.
Did we? I thought that was flying ants that we had swarms of.
Oh.
We had a big thing of flying ants coming our way.
So all I've done here is I've just cut, like I did with the ladybird, I've just used that cutter to cut some of those shapes that we now know the name of that I've forgotten. What was that shape again, Carol?
I've no
one with the
idea. Go on,
pointy?
Simon, what was it called?
What was
Oh,
it?
I've forgotten as well.
Viscous pizza or something
No,
like that?
no, probably don't try and pronounce it.
So
It was something like that.
the pointy ellipse, because it's like an ellipse but pointy. Okay, so we've got those. That's going to form those cheeks. If I just press the cupcake in here, look, you can see that. Let's move the head.
I think it was a Vesica Pisces.
How do you say it?
Vesica Pisces.
There.
Gosh.
Yeah, I think that's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, because it was a bit like Pisces, wasn't it? Which is what I was. That was right.
Yep.
So a little bit of water just at each side here, and let's pop these shapes in place.
You've kept a lovely audience in place tonight,
Oh,
over
lovely.
300.
So we need to leave a little space here, look, for the nose, and then we're going to pop that at the other side. Oops. There we are. Very cute. And then to make the nose, I've just got a little bit of black paste over here. I'm just going to take a little bit of black paste off I'm going to roll it into a ball and into kind of a Tic Tac oval shape. I like Tic Tacs.
Do they still sell Tic Tacs?
I think so, but I don't like the mint ones. I like the orange and green ones. They brought out lots of different ones as well, isn't there? Some pink ones now.
I haven't seen any for years.
Sure there is. In the
And
day
they
when
never
we
go
went to
shopping,
supermarket.
so I wouldn't. John never brings them home. John does all the shopping, so I don't know.
Oh, it's tell him. Tic Tacs.
It's never something I look on the Amazon. It's never something I look on the Tesco's order for the sugar.
They sell them at the garages as well
Do they?
sometimes, so when you fill up with
I
petrol.
don't pay for petrol.
Oh, well.
I don't do things like that.
Okay, so we've got our little Tic Tac shape. I'm just going to pop it in place and just squash it down a little bit. Just so that it meets the edge of the little white areas here, the little cheeks. And there's his cute little nose. And then we need to, I'm just moving that out the side, and we're going to roll some black paste and just make his little eyes. So again, you can either use the little round plunger cutter, or you can use the little circle here that's on the cutter
Geraldine
itself.
says, "Oh, I love basil brush. Boom, boom." It's an age thing for the younger audience.
I went to see Basil Brush at the
Did you?
theatre with my children. Yeah, it was really good.
I used to
I think
love
I went
watching
more.
that.
I think I went more for me. We used to go to the theatre quite a
It
bit,
was
and
good
it was,
though,
it was
wasn't
more. It was
Yeah.
more for me.
I loved watching
Yeah.
it.
So you'll see here. I'm just going to show you the difference because the eyes using this are slightly smaller, and then the small circle plunger cutter that I've got. Let me show you the size of those. Are a little bit bigger. So depending on how big you want your eyes to be.
And a lady has just said, I just missed who it was, Angela Grabo said you could even use a nozzle tip.
Yes, absolutely you can. Again, I'm just going to give my hands a little bit of a wipe there, just where I've got some black sugar paste sticking on. So exactly, you can just choose. These ones are ever so slightly smaller than the circle plunger. So I'm going to go with the ones that are a tiny bit bigger. I'm just going to put a little bit of water in place and pop those eyes on. Like so. You can get the kids to do all the little fiddly bits, can't you?
Yeah, they love it as well,
Yeah,
don't they?
Definitely.
Got a lot of basil brush fans.
And again, we're just going to do those highlights again. So a tiny bit of water. On the
Apparently he's still around, but he's had a revamp with a different voice.
No. Oh, that's not, well, I suppose it'd have to, wouldn't it?
That won't be the same, was it?
No. It was like when they did that with Sooty and Sweep, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway. So again, we just pick them up just on the tip of your finger there and pop those in place. There we go. And then the last thing to do on this is the ears. So for the ears, again, we're going to use the terracotta paste that we had. And I'm just going to roll that out. So just soften it back up. Obviously, if you're using the paste at home, do keep them wrapped up in between using them, and it stops it from drying out. So with this, I want to roll it out to probably about 2 to 3 millimetres in thickness, because the ears are actually going to stand up a little. And we're going to use this part of the cutter here, look, to cut out your ears. So
It's actually amazing, that cutter, that you look at it and think, how's that going to make a face? But it is amazing how many faces you can make with it,
absolutely,
isn't it?
Definitely. Let's see. Just pat down any edges. If you find that the piece of paste sticks to the cutter, so it sort of stays inside, you can actually rub over the edges here, and that will help to get rid of any of those rough edges as well. But if your piece just pops straight out, then obviously just give it a little rub with your finger. And then, I just thought there was a little bit stuck to that, but there isn't. So then a little tiny bit of white to make the inside of the ear.
Who's going to make these then? Who's going to get all the cutters out now and make these? They are cute, aren't they? And when you do have a look, I tell you what, Google as well what you can make with them, and you'll be amazed. I did some, and all I did was Google what you could make with mix and match face cutters, and they all came up. They were fabulous. I've also got some YouTube videos that Zoe Fancy Cakes did with us, and it's an absolute, and I'll try and get those replayed. because it's an absolutely fabulous cutter. I may well be out of stock, but don't worry, they're all back in on Wednesday. Yeah. And there's 3 sizes. There's the mix and match normal size, which was the very first one. Then they brought out the large one, and then they brought out the funny faces. Have you seen the funny face one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cute, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, I just think they're really good, either for beginners or for, like I say, if you're working with, doing any of them with children, with grandchildren.
Well, there's lots of people here saying they're going to make them. They've got the cutter, never done anything with it.
Crazy.
I don't know what it is with us women. It's us women, isn't it? We buy it, look at it and go, oh, that's nice, stroke it and put it away. Yeah. I've got it.
Yeah, I'll come back to that. Yeah. So I've just popped a little cutting mat on here because I'm just going to be using my sharp knife to cut this in half, and we don't want to do that on the pink board. So I've cut out one shape, the same as the ears, just in white, and I'm just going to cut that in half. And that bit is going to attach to the outside edge of the pair of ears. Move that up a little bit, there we go. Okay, so just a little bit of water here.
Lynn Toff says, I love these and now I know how to use it. I've only had the cutter for a year.
Do you know, I've got things still in my cupboards that have been there for about 5 years.
I've got things when I first started baking. I remember when I first started baking in 2013, before I started Sugar and Crumbs, and I was buying stuff, and I had to have it all on next day delivery. And John said, surely you must have everything. And I still open cupboards now, it's still got labels on. Bad, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, there we go. So to finish off with the fox, we're just going to add the ears. So all I'm going to do is pop a little bit of water just on the edge. So on the outside edge of your cupcake topper. And then we're going to actually stick these. So these are going to be sticking upwards, look. So they just stick onto the side there. Like that. You might just need to press them on and just hold them for a second or two until they stick. And the same with that one.
A lady's husband, I think it's Carol's husband, she said she thinks her husband is enjoying watching this.
Oh, right. Oh dear. And then if you want to, just with your fingers, you can just stroke the top of the ears just to kind of bend it over. Do you know, like when they have their ears pricked up and they're just kind of bent over a little? So he's looking all alert. And there's the fox. So we've got a fox and we have got a ladybird. And then next we're going to go on and do the badger. And the badger's got a little bit more work involved in him, which is why we're going to leave him to last. Let's move those out of the way. And we'll bring the badger in now. Okay, so the badger is going to be in a few different layers because of the black and the white stripes on him. So let's get my black paste and my white paste. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut out the white pieces first, just so that I'm not constantly having to wipe my hands. So let's do the white bits and then we'll cut out the black bits and we'll assemble it all in one go. So we're going to roll out a piece of white paste and cut out a full circle again. So remember, use the back of the cutter there to cut out your shape. And then what you need to do is just cut off one of those Pisces shapes. I can remember it as Pisces because I don't know what the beginning bit was.
I don't know what it is. Go on, Simon, what was it?
We can live without it, can't we?
Okay. Yeah.
Can you not remember the name? Why? What's wrong with it?
Can't remember it.
Is it Visca something?
Something of it.
Visca. Come on, Debbie Hargreaves, get it up again because we can't remember.
Okay,
There's
so
too many comments on here for me to go back through.
I'm cutting out 2 different sizes. So the first ones that I cut out were quite small. So I just cut out a couple of slightly bigger ones and we'll decide, once we get the cupcake, when we're assembling it, we'll decide which ones to use.
It's that funny oval shape with points.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Vesica.
Vesica.
Yeah.
Should write it down.
Vesica.
Oh, I tell you, it's a right learning channel, this, isn't it?
It is.
Eh?
So all I've done is round the outside edges, I've just cut off those little shapes. And out of the middle bit, I'm going to make this pointy bit of fur at the top here. Okay. So the way I'm going to do that is, if I remember, we're going to cut out the ear shape. No, we're not. We're going to cut out the oval. That was right. I have done these before. It's been a very long day. Okay, so we're going to cut out the oval. Just neaten off that edge.
Lynn Feather says it's the eye shape.
Yeah. That leaf shape.
I would say it's a leaf shape.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep it simple words.
Yeah.
Simple mind.
Too late.
Simple
Too late in the
mind,
day.
simple words, clear head.
Absolutely. So again, I'm just transferring it onto my cutting mat here. And we're going to cut out, if I show you that next to it, look. There we go.
Oh,
So as you can see, I'm going to cut out some little spiky bits.
This is interesting. Debbie says she's assuming the pieces bit is because it resembles a fish shape.
Which is like Pisces,
Yeah.
which is my star sign.
Maybe. That's a good idea. Well, she's a right clever clog. No wonder she likes you, Simon. She gets on well with you, wouldn't she? Hey, I could sit you and her and John together. You'd be very happy with each other.
Okay, so all I've done there is from the oval, I've just cut out 2 triangles. And then that will sit really nicely, look, on the top. There. With a little bit of woolly fur at the top. Okay, you can always just shape it a little bit with your finger. And we'll add that on in a moment. Let's just make it a little bit more pointy at the edge.
They do look so good. I love them.
Brilliant. So we're going back to our black now. As I say, we just did the little white bits, like so. And then, with the black paste, we're going to cut out some more of those fabulous shapes.
So a lady's just asked, so we're
Yes.
called Sugar and Crumbs if you're watching, and if you wanted to buy anything tonight you can buy it off our website sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. Of course you can go anywhere else and shop for it, but we're obviously promoting our own shop tonight, which is sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. This cutter is called FMM Mix and Match Cutter. They do 3 sizes. They do this size, which was the original, and then they do the large one, and then they do the funny faces one. I'm not sure what stock levels I got before tonight's live, but they will be back in stock late tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, so I've just popped that there, look, so you can see that's the one that it is that we're using on here. And it says you can cut and create hundreds,
And you can.
hundreds of novelty and animal
You can.
faces.
You
with
can,
this
and
one cutter.
I'll try and find the videos of the ones that I made. And I wasn't as calm and relaxed as Julie when I did my live. I've just seen a lady there, I think it was Alima, saying she remembers watching my live when I did mine. I wasn't as calm as you, Julie.
Really?
I was freaking all over the place. I had pictures of them all. I printed a load of pictures off Google. I said, right, let's work this lot out then. But I'll try and find the Zoe Fancy Cakes ones, because she did some great ones for Halloween. And but you can go mad once you get used to this cutter and understand it. And if you use it on a regular basis, your mind can run wild with the things you can make with it, can't you?
Absolutely. There we go. So just a little bit of water at each side just to hold these black pieces in place. So we're just building it up piece by piece. There we go. So there's the 2 kind of cheek type areas. I should have studied up on anatomy before I came, shouldn't I? And let's pop these 2 smaller white pieces at the side there as well. So you can see why you need to roll the pieces that you're adding on top, why you need to roll them a little bit thinner, because otherwise you'd end up with your cupcake topper being as tall as your cupcake. Press those into place.
Yeah, it's right, that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then with this little bit of black paste that we've got left over, we'll make the nose. So again, we're just going to roll it around into a ball and then into a bit of an oval. Small amount of water just on the bottom there. As I say, don't go mad with the water, because what you'll find is that the shapes will slip and slide around, and also especially if you're using black, it can bleed out onto your white sugar paste underneath. And just give that a little pat with your finger, like so. And then while we're here, we'll pop his little fairy bit on the top. Oh, I've made this one bigger, look, it hardly even fits. There we go. And if you want to, you can always use your Dresden and just flick those bits of hair up a little bit.
Oh, that's cute, isn't it?
Yeah. There we go, just gives it a little bit more movement. And then let's make the eyes and the ears as well. So for the eyes, you can use a different colour if you like. I'm going to just use white, but you could give him blue eyes, you could give him green eyes. I don't know whether that's particularly correct for animals, but I think it would look cute. Doesn't really matter.
No. Because you're a badger, isn't it? You can do what you like.
Yeah, can have any. Can have pink eyes. Might look a bit poorly if you give me pink eyes. I don't think that would work.
A bit deranged.
Yeah, yeah. That's a step too far, that one. Oh dear. Okay, so let's just cut out two of those small.
I'm on a dodgy stool. I feel it's going to keep falling off. Is this one a dodgy stool, this one?
I don't know. There is one that feels a bit dodgy.
It feels as though I'm tilting forward and always slipping off.
So again, just a little bit of water there where we're going to stick the eyes in place. So let's put one in there.
And Diane said you don't need gel to keep his hair up either.
No, no, not at all. No.
Yeah, that's good. Debbie says, and now she can't decide which is the cutest, the fox or the badger. Don't know. What do you all think, everyone? Which is the cutest one?
This one looks really weird at the moment, doesn't it? Until we get the finishing features on, it's looking a little bit, yeah, a bit odd.
It's just looking like black and white circles at the moment, eh?
Yeah.
Ovals.
Yeah. Don't worry, it will take shape. All of a sudden. All of a sudden. So we're just going to cut out a couple more circles here. And they're going to go in the middle of his eyes. And then again, we're going to use the white paste and just do a tiny little highlight in each eye. So.
Alison Morris, yes, you can use Karen Davies sugar paste, and you don't need to add Tylo to that. What Julie's done today, she's used the Select Platinum and added a little bit of Tylo. And like any other sugar paste, you'll need to add Tylo. But if you're using Karen Davies, you won't need to.
Oh, that one's too big. So you see, if you make it the wrong size, you can just take it off and just redo. But these are really teeny tiny pieces of paste. So I think you'll be forgiven if they're not quite the same size.
Yeah. And I have to agree with you, Alison. It's whether you eat the sugar paste first. Karen Davies sugar paste is amazing. Have you tasted it, Julie?
Is it like a marshmallowy?
Oh, the marshmallow one's gorgeous. The
Yeah.
vanilla's lovely, but the marshmallow is amazing.
Yeah.
I don't ever like giving that away. I usually hide it in the cupboard, look at it and stroke it.
Okay, so we're going to make the ears very similar to how we did the fox. So we're going to start off with some black paste, rolled a little bit thicker just so it holds its shape better.
I had to use some the other week for my cake. I was devastated.
Oh no.
I know, it's all I had. I looked at the person when I give it them and said, do you know what you've got? Marshmallow sugar paste.
You can see on this one, look, it's the paste has stayed in the cutter, so you can actually just stroke the edges of the shape there just to neaten it off and then just pop it out. Okay, so there's our two ears, and then we're just going to add some white inside the ears. So again, we're rolling that nice and thin. And what I'm going to do this time, because we want the inside of the ears to be smaller than the outside, so we want to still see some of the black showing through, what I'm going to do is just line that up and just cut a little bit off the bottom there. So can you see there, like you can see the cutter there, can you see that?
Yeah.
There we go. So you can see the pink, where the pink board is there. So all we're doing is just trimming off a little bit on the bottom, look there. Take that off. And then when you put it in, you'll still see some of the black showing around the edge of the ear.
They're saying you make it look so easy, but they are easy.
Oh, they are easy.
But you do have to remember them. I am admiring Julie, that she's remembered them all. You are doing really well. I think when you play with them often, you will get used to them, but it's like when I did my live, I had to print off a load of pictures and keep referring to them, so I do admire Julie for, like, you know what, she remembers out.
Well, I think it does help that I've got it right next to me as well.
It does help,
It does,
yeah.
that helps. I'm very much following the ones that I did.
I was still following pictures and I still couldn't remember.
Oh, okay.
The Tylo is to firm up the sugar paste. So you see, I'll get Julie to show you afterwards, but when she's decorated the cake and put the buttercream on the topper so that it lies completely flat and doesn't sort of bend or go soft, it just firms up the sugar paste.
Yeah, because the moisture from your buttercream will make the sugar paste go a little bit saggy and droopy. So the Tylers helps to stop that happening. And like I said, normally if I was making these back in my kitchen at home, I would tend to do the cake toppers the day before I put them onto the cupcakes, if possible. Just gives them extra time to firm up. But that's why I'm doing these ones first, so that whilst I'm working on the other cupcake toppers, these can just start hardening a little bit. So we're going to do exactly the same for the ears as we did for the fox. So just a little bit of water on the outside of the cupcake topper, just out the outside edge, and then the ears are just going to press in place and then just stroke it back a little bit with your finger. There we go. One there, and then that one at that side as well. And again, the placing of the ears and the eyes and things like that can dramatically alter the look of.
They're loving it that you've made them all these toppers with just one cutter.
It is fabulous, isn't it?
It's great.
And just
I don't know who thought of this idea, but it was very clever, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
and you can use it for dogs and for cats and for, like I say, the list, if I just get that back again, like the list is endless of all the different animals, monkeys.
And there's the suggestions just for this cutter,
Yes,
but there's loads.
There is, absolutely. So this was just the few that started off.
Go on to Google and put FMM Fit Mix and Match face cutter, and then go to images. Seriously, you'll see them all. There's loads of them. People have been so creative for all types at certain times of the year as well. So you've got your Halloween, you've got your Christmas, you've got all sorts of ones.
Definitely.
So lovely, aren't they? Aren't they fantastic?
I thought these just fit really, really nicely, seeing as though we were feeling all woodlandy today with the fairies.
It look great, it look brilliant.
Pop these old cupcakes back so we don't get them mixed up. Because you wouldn't want to eat those ones. The buttercream will be a little bit manky. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop those to one side while we work on the other 3 cupcake toppers. I can just go over there out of the way. And then these ones are some domed cupcakes. So again, we're going to look at different things. We're looking at some moulds, we're looking at some texture.
And again, to go with your woodland theme.
Yeah, and it all matches in with the woodland theme. So using different things, different techniques. As I say, and these are a domed effect.
Do you know this like fairy cake, if you're doing it was like for a little girl or something like that, and then they all have these little cupcakes for their friends and stuff, it'd be great,
It'd be really nice, really pretty.
Yeah.
So let's pop those to one side. Let's work on this one first. Sorry, Simon, I'm whizzing backwards and forwards.
Okay.
Sorry. And what I'm going to do... Sorry, go on.
Just going to interrupt. So some of you are asking what we're doing on buttercream flowers tomorrow. Well, Karen's got no live this week because we had Julie in for a class today and we've got Doe in for a class on Friday. So Karen is going to be doing the session tomorrow. And did she tell us what she was making? She's doing something with chocolate, isn't she?
Was it some chocolate moulds of some kind?
Yeah, she's doing something with the chocolate mould. So you'll be watching her tomorrow. Are you doing that live session tomorrow, Simon?
No,
It's Terry. So it'll be Terry and Karen that will be in tomorrow. And they're saying they love this live.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you
very much.
I'm quite enjoying myself too.
Yeah.
So thank you for watching and joining in. I'm loving hearing all the comments as well. So that's great. Keep commenting. Oops. So what I'm going to use here, there's a couple of different ways that you can do domed cupcake toppers. You can either make a dome of buttercream onto your cupcake and then ice that on top, or if you want to make them in advance, these are really fabulous to use. So these are the little foam balls. Well, they say foam balls, but it's like half a ball, isn't it, really? Cut in half balls.
Yeah.
And these are purple cupcakes, domed cupcake toppers. They're just firm, and what you do is you decorate your cupcake topper onto here, let it firm up, and then you can just transfer it really quickly and easily onto your cupcake. So...
A few ladies have got these and not used them either.
Oh my word.
Lynn Toff's just said, oh, these purple things can come out my cupboard as well. I've never used them.
Gosh, do you know, honestly, Your cupboards must be huge and bursting at the seams with all these things you're not using.
They are nice to use, these foam dome balls though. They really do give a nice shape.
I use them a lot. I've got probably about 4 or 5 packs of them at home.
Yeah.
Because I do use them. It's good for if you're doing quite a few cupcakes and you want to get ahead of time. And you can just do that. Because what you can do as well, if you've got, say, quite a lot to make, is you could make, if you've only got 6 of the dough, it comes in a pack of 6. If you've only got 6, you can make 6 cupcake toppers, leave them overnight to dry and to firm up, take them off the balls, keep them in a cardboard box, make another 6. So if you were doing a dozen, you can just do it in like batches if you want to.
Yeah. But like you, because you sell cakes for a living, it's worth it for you to buy a few sets.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, so I've got a few which I do. So if I'm selling cupcakes by the dozen and that kind of thing, you know, I have them all set out on the side, drying in batches. Okay, so we're going to start off. So we're using the red Renshaw Extra again. And oops. Okay. So again, I'm making it probably about 2 to 3 millimeters in thickness. I don't want to be eating a great big chunk of sugar paste. And I'm using here, do you know, like your pastry cutter sets that you have? This is the second largest size, so it's not the very big one, it's the next size down. And I did have a ruler which I could measure it for you, but it's vanished. I think I packed it away. But as I say, it's the second size down in your set of 4 pastry cutters. So again, when I picked it up there, I just kind of dinted the side a little bit, so I'm just going to pat that back into shape. And then we just lay it on top. That's brilliant. Just lay it on top of your dome like so. And then just as if you were stroking your pet dog or your cat, just stroke the paste down over the foam just to get any of those wrinkles and crinkles out. Okay, and then pick it up. And just using the palm of your hand just to kind of smooth that paste downwards and make it nice and smooth. Gives you a good finish. Like so. And as I say, so that would just dry look. So it's giving you that domed shape to the cupcake topper. And then...
A few ladies are saying they wondered what they were for.
Oh, right, yeah.
Once you know how to use these though, they are
really, really useful, really good. If you're the type of person that likes a lot of buttercream under, because you might notice with these, they're not very high. Okay, there's still quite a shallow dome on these. If you wanted to give it a really big domed effect, so it's like quite high and you've got lots of buttercream underneath, just use a bigger cutter, use the next size up, and that will give you a bigger domed cupcake topper that you can fit more buttercream underneath, and it makes it into a bigger cupcake.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a little bit of white sugar paste here that we're going to roll out, and we're just going to cut some little white circles just to make the top of our toadstool. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just randomly, I'm not very terribly good at random, but I'll try. I'm going to randomly put some dots of water. It always ends up looking like a pattern when I try and do random.
Sorry Julie, I'm going to swap my chair.
That's okay.
I just can't cope falling off it anymore.
And what you can actually do with the plunger cutter, if the paste stays inside, you can actually put it onto the cupcake, just press the plunger down a little bit and it sticks it straight on, look. So you don't end up losing it. So everywhere that I've put a little dot of water, I'm just going to pop a little spot of paste. What you could do as well, if you've got any like little butterfly cutters or anything, you could always make a little butterfly to go on top of the toadstool. So, okay. Oops, that one didn't pick up. There we are. All the way around, lots of them.
Wonder how many Woodland themed cakes we're seeing now. Hey? It'd be great,
They'll
wouldn't
be
it?
everywhere, it'll be lovely.
I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's cake that they made today.
And if you do, tag me in them as well so I can see, because I love to see what people have been making. I know when I was over here before with the makeup bag cake, quite a lot of people did tag me, and they actually sent me them in messages as well to my Facebook page to let me know that they'd made them, and it was brilliant. I really love to see all those.
What is your Facebook page so they can go and follow you?
Yeah, it's Julie's Cake in a Box. So like on the apron there, look, Julie's Cake in a Box.
Yeah.
See, pink apron. For those of you who watch the class, I have changed. I'm not here on a different day, it's the same day. I did get changed. Freshened myself up after a long day. So there we go, quick as you like. That one's finished. So you can add as many or as few of the little white dots on the top as you like. Entirely up to you. And that's that one. So again, we're going to pop that over to one side, and that can start firming up before we put it on top of the buttercream. So that's one. And then the next one we're going to do, let's do this one next. So this one is a wooden, like a bark type effect, but this time we've used a texture mat to do this. I've popped some oak leaves on top, and we've hand modelled a little ladybird. So the first thing we're going to do actually before we do the cupcake topper is we're going to make these leaves, because we need the leaves to dry. So what I might do is I might start making it, but actually add the leaves on later once they've had time to dry. I'm going to use some flour paste for that. I've just got some of this Renshaw flour and modelling paste. Because we're not making a really intricate design, it's not like a really delicate rose or anything like that. This flour and modelling paste is absolutely fine just for doing these leaves.
So let me just answer a question.
Yeah.
So no, the foam won't leave anything. So Anne Dickinson's just saying, she's just wondering, would the foam not leave anything on the paste? The foam is actually a food safe paste, foam anyhow, and it won't leave any indentations or marks or fumes or anything on there. Especially been designed for food safe. For food. I've seen a couple of you said that you would use things and wrap them in cling film. The only thing with wrapping them in cling film is they don't dry out, and the idea is you need the product to dry out to firm up, and that's where you'll have your problem. By using the cling film underneath, it can't dry. When you come to put it on your cake, it is still soft, and you can actually then push it flat. And if you're looking for that dome effect, you really want it to firm up. So this way Julie's looking for the dome effect, and the other way with putting the Tylo in, she wanted the flat top effect. So that's the only thing I would say about using the cling film.
Yeah, definitely. As I say, the foam is what helps it to dry out. It's like when you're doing flowers and leaves and you put them to dry on a firm mat, like the bumpy. I'm actually using mine upside down, so this is one of those bumpy ones. I'll turn it over.
They're enjoying it. They're enjoying it this much.
Yeah,
exactly. They're enjoying it that much that when they want you to come back and do some more on your next live.
Fabulous.
So they're saying when you come back again, can you come back and show them some other ideas?
What, with these or some different cupcakes? With the cutter? Oh no. Yeah, okay.
Oh, no.
Oh no. I have actually planned my next live.
What are you going to do on your next live?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
It's cupcake toppers again, but because I'm doing the baby bag cake, again I'm theming it up and we're having baby shower cupcakes. So there's some absolutely gorgeous,
like
some really cute little ones, which are fab. But who knows, I might be able to sneak one in somehow. I don't know. I'll experiment.
Yeah.
Don't hold me to it, but I'll see.
No, they'll like that. They'll like the baby thing.
But yeah, the baby cupcakes are really, really cute. So I've rolled the flour paste really quite thin. So it's probably about 1 millimetre in thickness there, because we want this to dry quite quickly. And as I say, it is a flour paste, so it will dry quicker than your sugar pastes and your modelling pastes will. So I've just got, this is actually just a random oak leaf cutter, but I'm sure you've got lots and lots of different leaf cutters. Doesn't have to be an oak leaf. Oops, daisy, that wasn't very good, was it? Line that back up. I'm just going to give that a little wiggle, just to release it from the paste.
So they want to know where you're from, Julie.
Yorkshire. Oh dear, yeah, I'm from
There's
Beverley.
a few ladies saying that they like your accent.
Oh really? I've been likened to Jane MacDonald quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not from the same area of Yorkshire as she is, but believe me, if you heard me sing, you would know that I am not. I am not Jane MacDonald in any shape or form. Okay, so I'm just going to cut out a couple of leaves. I actually went off a little bit on the cutter on that one, so I'm going to cut a new one out. But yeah, I'm from it's a market town called Beverley in East Yorkshire. So it's about 2 hours away from here. Quite a nice drive down the M62.
I don't particularly have this cutter if anybody's thinking, but what I do have, I have the FMN seasonal leaves cutter, which is very good, and they've got loads of different leaves in there. So all the different leaves in there you can actually use for the same technique.
Yep, definitely. As I say, and it doesn't have to be, it can be any kind of a leaf. It literally was just one that I grabbed out of my drawer. You may notice, obviously, by the cakes that I've got that I'm coming to do in the classes and the live demonstrations that I've already done in the past and what I'm doing tonight, I'm a novelty cake decorator. I'm not a flower maker at all. I think sugar flowers are gorgeous, they're beautiful. I can make them. It's not my thing, so I tend to have I have a few random cutters in a drawer, which is what that was. It was just I obviously took a fancy in the early days. I thought, oh yeah, these flowers look beautiful, I'll have a stab at those. And it, like I say, I can make them, and I do make them for wedding cakes if I need to, but I'm very much a novelty cake maker, models and carving and textured and that kind of thing. So
I think you do get your own thing, what you like best.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, for instance, with the fairy cake, the treehouse one, I was telling the ladies today, I quite often use that as a texture for wedding cakes, so to look like a rustic bark effect on a tiered cake. So sometimes I will do like cascading autumn leaves coming down, which is how come I've got a random oak leaf cutter, because that fits in well. So I'm just going to use a ball tool here, and we're just going to thin these edges, because that's one thing I do know about sugar flower making. You thin your edges.
Oh, they're liking the idea of baby cupcakes.
Oh, brilliant. So
if you're going to do the changing bag, there you go, you learn how to do the baby cake cupcakes. Well, everybody will anyhow.
Yeah.
But who's going to do the changing bag? I think it's going to be great.
I'm really, really looking forward to it.
I mean, this tree today, I've got to be honest, I wasn't in the classroom, but I was watching it on the Facebook with it, like you guys were, and I have to say it was great fun. But I do love this spark effect, how you did this. I thought this was very clever, and no moulds, no nothing, all done by hand.
Yeah, and I think the ladies were quite surprised as well.
Yeah,
so I think they had their own minds, their own ideas in the mind about how it was going to be done.
Yeah, well, I had my idea, and it was nothing
was it not like
no.
So yeah, come and join the class and you'll be able to find out. So all I'm doing on this is I'm just thinning off the edges, just gives it a little bit of shape. I'm using a ball tool, and the ball tool is actually half on the leaf and half off the leaf. So this is just a little foam pad. You can do it in your hand as well if you want to. Just like that. You just need something soft. Don't try to do it on a workboard, because all you'll do is end up ripping it, and it won't go very nicely at all. So it needs to be on something soft. If you've got a veiner, you could use a veiner to vein this. I've got a couple. I've got a rose leaf veiner, but obviously that's not going to work on an oak leaf. So I'm just going to use my Dresden tool, and we're going to make a central vein just by pressing a line down, and then I'm just going to do a few suggestions, because it's a novelty cake, it's not a botanically correct sugar flower arrangement. So we're just going to mark in some veins there. And again, this is something that the children can do as well. Like so that's one. And then you may be wondering actually why I'm making it in white. I didn't explain, did I? So I'm going to make it white, and then I'm going to actually dust it. I'm going to leave them to dry a bit, and then we're going to dust them with some dust colours. But if you wanted, you could actually make it in a solid colour of paste. So we're just going to give it some dust. There we go. So then I'm just going to leave those to one side to dry. What will happen, I probably will shorten them, because if you see on the cupcake here, look, the leaves there are shorter. So I will probably take the bottom couple of layers off there and make them into smaller leaves. But I'm just going to pop those to one side onto my foam pad with my other bits and bobs. Just to start stiffening up just a little bit, just to start drying so that they hold the shape. At the moment they're still quite flimsy. So we'll have a go at making the bark effect topper while we're waiting for the to set. So we're going to just use some of that white sugar paste again. Whoops, not with the black, just the white. Store your sugar paste separately, the colours, so they don't get stuck together. And then I'm just going to be using this brown gel colour. So again, this is the Rainbow Dust one. The Colour Splash ones work just as well. They're really good colours. And just add a small amount at first. So the great thing with the gel colours is that obviously you don't need to use much of the colour to colour your paste. So I'm just going to work that through. Just keep an eye out at the back because sometimes the colour can come through at the back and end up all over your fingers. So just keep moving the paste around. Like so. And again, if my fingers are getting a little bit sticky again, so I'm just, sorry, I'll show you there. I've just got a little cornflour pouch left. I'm just dipping my fingers into, and that just stops the paste from sticking to them. So we just work it through, and eventually we will end up with a lovely brown
Do you
colour.
have white phone boxes in your town?
Sorry?
White phone boxes do you have in your
We
town?
have. Gosh, I've had this question a few times when I've done lives. Where else
Yeah.
was I? I did one somewhere else and somebody asked me about them. Yes, we have. In Beverley, there are, and I do think they are still there. Someone was asking me if they still are there, and I think so. I'm just going to add a little bit more brown in just to make it a bit darker. And we have, the telephone boxes are like a creamy colour.
Why is that
Rather
then?
than the red, I don't know. I've no idea. I don't know, but yes, we do. And we also, in actual fact, we have a little bit of a claim to fame. Luke Campbell, the boxer, he is from Hull. So in Hull, we've actually got a gold telephone box because it was painted gold when he won his gold medal at the 2012 Olympics. And we've also got a gold post box because they did a telephone box and a post box. Because we live, the region that I live in, our telephones are kind of all from one company. We're kind of tied in to one company, and they're actually painted. So everybody, all the Olympians got a gold post box in the town that they lived or where they were from. But because we have our own telephone company that we're kind of tied to, it's complicated. But they actually did a phone box as well, so we had a gold phone box.
Right.
So,
Very posh.
yes.
Very posh.
Yeah, Hull isn't very
When's the last time you used
I'm
a phone
jealous.
box?
When did I last use the phone box? Probably when I was about 10.
Yeah, I don't know. I will have to look into that. I'll have to research that as to why. I've lived there all my life and I've no idea why our telephone boxes are a different colour.
I've got to be honest, I don't know anybody uses them now, do they?
Yeah.
I think when I last used one, I don't know, I was about 16 or 17, but I went in one and it was just like, oh, there's graffiti all over it and stuff in it, and don't really ever want to go in one ever again.
No, they're not the nicest of things.
I've always fancied buying one though for the garden. I do Google them and research them and think, oh, I should buy one for the garden. Not quite sure why, but now I know I can paint it gold. Maybe I might.
Yeah.
You can have it paint
Well, I
colour,
think
yeah.
you've got to win an Olympic medal first, Carol.
Oh,
You
okay.
can't, you
Can I
can't
not
just,
paint it
you
gold?
can't
just
There's no
randomly
Olympic
paint it
medal.
gold. No, you've got to win an
No.
Olympic medal.
Can you not? Why? Is there a law that
Yes.
says you can?
It's got to be red or pink.
So you're telling me there's a law that you cannot paint the telephone boxes gold?
I'll just make, you know I'm making that up.
Good. I hope so.
Anyhow, so we're actually using a bark mould for this cupcake. So this is a Karen Davis bark mould. I can't speak now. I'm just going to pop a little bit of corn flour in. Karen Davis moulds are really fab and they're very flexible. But I'm just going to pop a little bit of corn flour. I'm just going to empty it out over there, out of camera shot, so that you don't end up with a sea of white corn flour.
And let me just tell you, she didn't use this for the cake. The cake
No.
was all hand done.
No moulds used for the bark effect at all. So I'm just going to press that down a little bit, just with my fingers, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of a roll with my rolling pin.
Oh, they are Karen Naylor's on it. That would be a lot of fake Cahill dust for the telephone box, Carol.
Oh dear. There we go. So you can see that's picked up really nicely. I'm just going to use a paintbrush, just a clean soft paintbrush. I'll just get rid of some of that corn flour. So if you've got a cake steamer, if you're one of these ladies that do the lovely sugar flowers that I don't do, if you've got, I do actually have a cake steamer even though I don't make flowers. I find it really useful. You could you can get rid of the corn flour that way as well. If you wanted it to be a deeper bark, just press on it a bit firmer. But I quite like it because a lot of it's going to be covered with the leaves and the ladybird. We're just going to leave it as quite a subtle effect for this. Okay, so with that same pastry cutter, we're going to cut out the circle, and then we're just going to make it into the domed topper in exactly the same way. So we'll just balance it on the top to start with, and just gently stroke your hand down. And all that's doing is it's just gently easing that paste to the shape of the domed cupcake, and then you can pick it up and just rub your hand over it. Obviously we're not trying to smooth this one. With the red one we was making it nice and smooth, but because we've used a texture mat on here, we don't want to get rid of the texture mat, so just gently round with your hands. And that's that one. So as I say, we're still waiting for the leaves to dry a little bit, but we will make the ladybird whilst we're working on that one. Then we'll go on to do the toadstool cupcake topper, and then we'll come back and look at the leaves when they've dried a bit more. So let me get rid of that. And what was it I said? We're doing the ladybird. I've got some red there. So we just need some red and some black sugar paste. See, this one's just got one spot for each side. I'm a little bit paranoid about my ladybirds now.
I'll actually give you a black pen and you colour them in.
Okay, so we're just going to break off a small piece of the paste, and we're just going to roll it around into a ball, and then just into a fat sausage kind of a shape, and then we're just, oh, I should have washed my hands, I've still got brown paste all over them.
The ladies just brought you tree class. Kerry, you'll absolutely love
fabulous.
it. You will love it.
Brilliant. Okay, so let's make 2 ladybirds, shall we? That one's quite big. Let's make a smaller one as well. So again, just round into a ball, gently with your finger into a sausage shape, and then we'll just squash it into your ladybird, like that. And then I'm just going to give my hands a little bit of a wipe because I have got brown paste on them. It's a messy job, this cake decorating. And my hands are a little bit stained because I did some airbrushing earlier as well, so they're a right concoction now.
Did Karen show everybody how to get the colour off the pink board?
No, because we were really good and we didn't make it dirty.
Oh,
no, we were very well behaved in the class.
Well, you've kept a smashing audience up tonight then.
Well, that is good
Julie.
news.
Yeah.
I'm pleased to hear that. Right, so Carol, have we got any small circle cutters at all?
Circle cutters? Oh,
actually, no, I'll tell you what we can do.
How small do you want them?
About this big.
Teeny weeny ones?
No, about that.
Oh, I've got one that big.
Yeah.
In my new PME set.
Oh, brilliant.
Just need to know where Karen's put them.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that, I'm just thinking sometimes it's a little bit easier to cover it with a circle, but if not, we'll just cover it with a strip, it's not a problem. We'll just, the same as we did with the cupcake topper, we're just going to use our Dresden just to mark a line for the wings. It's okay, we can just do a strip, it doesn't matter.
Do you want to have a look under your cupboard there, see if she's put them under there?
Oh, yes.
It's a round tin of PME cutters. She's put everything away, so I don't know where she's.
No, don't worry, it's fine. No, it's fine, we're good.
Let me go and find the.
I'll just get my
I just want to show them off.
Hey? I do, they're very nice.
I'll tell you what we can do actually.
I've got the geometric cutters.
We can use our fabulous FMM cutter and we can cut out an oval shape that will work just as well.
Yeah.
So you can see how versatile this is. You don't have to use this just for those. Yeah, we're going to use this.
Oh, here they are.
Have you found them?
No, I've never have found them there.
Oh.
You did find them there.
I know, but it was more good luck.
Too late.
It's too late now.
Too late now. Too late now.
Right, let me pass you them.
Thank you. Oh, these are good cutters. Wow. Every time I come here, I come across some fabulous things that I need to
They're
buy.
great, them, aren't they?
I like those.
I know. I don't know what we're going to use them for yet, but I'm going to have to use them for loads of things.
So what we're going to use them for is for
Put
making the
circles
black.
out, I think.
Eh?
Put circles out.
Now that would be too easy and too straightforward. We're cake makers, we're creative, Simon.
But everybody who sees them goes, wow, I need a set.
They are amazing. I've never
They
seen
are.
a set like that.
They've only just come out.
Have they?
Yeah.
That's why I've never seen a set like that. They've only just come out. Like the fairy door that we used. Okay, ooh. So I'm going to use this second size. I must admit I've got the smaller set that's got probably about the first 6 or 7 of these, but not this huge. Look at them.
They're great, aren't they?
Shiny. Anyway, let's cut out a circle with these super duper new cutters. We'll cut out 2 just in case. Okay, so again I'm just going to quickly pop my cutting mat there just so that I can trim these rather than doing them on the pink board. There we go. So all I'm going to do is I just want to trim a straight edge. So we'll try it with the circle ones first. And then that straight edge look is going to go onto the ladybird, like this. And then we're just going to fold the other paste down around the sides, look like this.
Jenny Morewood says, Simon is very creative, Julie. You only have to look at his beard.
I can't see it, it's got the mask on.
No, he hides it behind his mask now.
No.
Yeah.
So I don't...
It'll be very...
So I don't see it, but he did slip his mask
I
off before
was
it.
going to say, I did see a little bit of colour just down at the bottom
Yeah.
that doesn't fit in the mask.
It slipped off before and
Yeah.
it's bent
Fabulous.
sideways due to his mask.
It's
Look at it, it's
I'm
all
saying
indented.
next week it's going red.
It's going red next
Brilliant.
week, good, because that mingy green now looks awful.
That's polite.
It looked great no, when he had it
Never
like,
polite
in
about
fairness, I don't like beards, as you all
No.
know, but when it was lime green it looked nice, but then he's just not bothered. He's left it.
I made it orange, but like,
Oh yeah, but that's the problem, you made it orange, it looked awful.
So we've used the circle cutters
I'm
and
not
we've just
tactful,
cut.
just say how it is.
We've cut a circle out and we've just trimmed a straight edge, and then as I say we're just going to fold the rest underneath, and that will just give us our nice ladybird design. Just straighten that up a little bit.
Yeah, Karen Breen, she's with me. Shave it off, shave it off,
not
shave
happening,
it off.
Karen.
Hey?
Not happening, Karen.
No, I've been on at him for 8 years to shave it off, it's not happening.
Well, okay, so what we're going to do now is just with either a little ball tool, or you can actually use the end of your paintbrush. I'm just going to mark in 2 little indents for the eyes. So 2 there and 2 there. We've just got little indents, and we're just going to pop on some spots. So I'm going to put 2 on this one, looks a bit like a dice, and then 1 at each side on that one. So again, because these are quite small, I'm just actually going to roll little tiny balls of paste rather than trying to cut out really, really tiny circles. You could obviously use the end of a piping tip, but we're not doing many, so we'll just do big little tiny balls, and then they just go onto the ladybird and just flatten them down to make the ladybird spots. So there's a baby, and then this can be a bit more of a grown-up one. Now if you wanted to, you could actually do put some little white balls for the eyes. What colour eyes do ladybirds have? Do they have white eyes, do you think, or
Yeah,
are they just
they have
told?
white eyes.
They have
Do
white
they?
eyes, okay.
I thought they were just all black, her eyes.
Some of them are.
Okay, well let's give them little white eyes then. White paste.
Oh, you've had a request for a multicoloured beard, Simon.
Ooh.
A rainbow beard.
That's the one after.
That's the one after, is it?
Have we had pink? Have we had a pink one?
Yeah.
Not recently.
No, not for a long
recently.
time.
So we'll just roll some teeny tiny little balls of white paste. Oops. Jumping around.
I did mention, Jenny, that he had to do something with it for this week. But obviously he's taken no notice of me. He's not taken any notice of me for the last 8 years.
I did it last week.
What did you do last week?
I trimmed it.
Screw him since then.
Not that much. I've cut that much
It's
off,
looking
Carol.
straggly, it needs
2
sorting
inches I
out.
cut off.
Well, you need to cut another 2 off.
There we go. So we're popping in some little white eyes in there. But it's entirely up to you. You can just leave them as the little indented areas. Okay, so we've got 2 little ladybirds. Let's put them to one side and they can dry a little bit more. I'm just going to test. Oh, those leaves are setting up quite nicely now, actually. Okay, so you can see they're still a little bit bendy, but they are setting up a bit. So what we'll do is, while we're on with that, we will dust them. And then we can finish that one off. So, I have here my paint palette. Move some things out of the way. And I did have some kitchen towel.
Oh, sorry, I've got it.
Thank you. So I've just got some kitchen towel here, just to protect your worktop. I'm going to put the white leaves on the white kitchen towel so you can't see them. But once we start dusting them, the colour will come through and you'll be able to see them fine. So I've got a few different shades here. I've got a fractal squirrel brown, I've got a rainbow dust poppy red, and I've got a rainbow dust orange burst. I'm not particularly saying that you have to use these colours. These are literally the colours that I got out of the cupboard before I came, when I packed over the weekend. So it could be any red colour, any orange colour, or any shade of brown. It doesn't have to be the exact ones. And you might want to use yellow. It's entirely up to you when you're colouring. Because we're doing an autumn leaf, you can use any colour at all. So I just like to tip these out into a palette. I mean, normally when I'm dusting leaves, if I'm doing them, say, for an autumn wedding cake, I would obviously be dusting quite a lot of leaves at once. I haven't used this squirrel brown very much, but I quite like the look of the colour. So, and a little bit of orange as well. There we go. And then you can use a variety of paintbrushes. I quite like these soft rounded paintbrushes, but flat paintbrushes work really well for dusting leaves and things. And we're literally just going to, and you'll see it'll start picking up those patterns that we did with the Dresden and the little lines. So we're just going to dust that all over. So I'm going to start with the red. And again, you can just change this up. There's no kind of right and wrong about this. We're not making botanically correct leaves. We're just making some nice woodland cupcake toppers. So you can use any colours you like. And then let's add a little bit of a little bit of orange in some areas perhaps. And then a bit on the back. And then we could add a little bit of brown to the edges where they're going a little bit crispy. But again, these kind of things are what you can do and personalise and make it your own by using your own colours and your own patterns. So there's one.
Another lady's just bought your fairy house cake.
Oh, brilliant.
Thanks,
I'm glad
Anne.
you're liking it, thank you.
So that's Kerry and Anne who's bought it tonight.
Brilliant. I look forward to seeing you in the group. Because even though I've done the class already, and obviously I'm going home in the morning, that's not going to be the last that you see of me. If you've got any questions when you join the class and you join the group, if you have questions afterwards, just ask. I'll tag me in them and I'm around. I'm not going to just disappear.
We're not offended, Pam. Simon's not being discriminated at all. We just tell him it as it is. She's feeling sorry for you.
Good.
I like to let him know he's getting a bit of sympathy.
Oh, a little bit of...
Still get the beard off.
Oh. So you can see there, look, on this one I haven't used any red. I've just stuck with the brown and the orange, and on this one we did the red and orange and a little bit of brown. Okay, so you can see the difference just by using a different combination of colours, how it gives you a much different look to your leaf and your colouring. So have some fun with that.
They look great, don't they?
Just play with them. And as I say, if you've got a proper veiner, obviously that's going to pick out the details even more. So let me put that out the way so I don't spill it over everything. And give my hands a little wipe. And as I say, with the, obviously when I did this one, you can see the leaves are a lot more dried and a lot more kind of shaped. That's because I've dried them for longer. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snap that bottom bit off there, because we want it to fit on the cake. I'll just snap that bit off. There we go. And that way they're a bit smaller, so they'll fit on the cake better. In fact, I might even just take a little bit more off. I'm doing it on the kitchen paper.
Yeah, it's all right. I know you'll be gentle.
I am very gentle.
What did you think of the pink board then, using it?
I'm loving it. I like it,
Yeah.
definitely.
I saw where you forgot to use it. It was natural. You said you threw sugar paste on it. And you went, oh, sorry about that. I'm just used to throwing icing sugar on it. You put on it. What was it you were doing?
One of my other ones before.
One of the models
Yeah.
in the class it was.
Oh,
Was it a model you was doing? You was doing something and you threw some sugar paste in. You immediately said, oh, sorry.
Oh, I don't know. It's been a long day.
I'm so used to using icing sugar.
Okay, so a little tiny bit of water just on the back of your leaf there, and that can just stick in place. Oh, on the wrong side. I'll put it on the front. There we go. We'll use that bit there and we'll stick a ladybird.
That's its new home.
Yeah, we'll stick a ladybird on there. Where have they gone over here? So let's stick the big ladybird onto the leaf, onto the water that I put there by mistake.
They're just saying how you love the banter, Simon. Go on, tell them how you love it. You're still here 8 years on. I've been giving you grief for 8 years. Can't be that bad.
Okay, so we'll just position
Not saying nothing.
the ladybirds on.
What, for a change? Don't worry, we don't get off that light.
And what you can actually do, if you want to...
They're cute, aren't they?
I'm just going to get a little bit of this kitchen towel before I throw that piece away. And what you can actually do, just to support those leaves a bit more while they're dry, as I say, normally I would leave them to dry for a little bit longer in a flower forming, you know, like the foam pads that we used earlier, before I put it on the cupcake. But because I put it on when it's soft, if you just roll up and twist a piece of kitchen towel, you can actually balance that underneath and it will keep it in position until it dries. Okay, so we'll just put another one under there. And you can actually use little makeup sponges as well, as long as they're clean. There. But you can see there, look, by keeping that underneath it, it's just going to keep that in place, and then as it dries, it will dry.
That's cute.
Hard and
Well done. Okay, and
It
they stayed on.
There we go. You see,
Yeah,
well made.
yeah.
Put that under there.
Well done.
Okay, so that's that one. So let's put him over there to dry, and then we're going to make the toadstools. Little toadstools. So let's just.
Are you loving this live, everyone? You're all saying you're thoroughly enjoying the live. Hasn't she been a cracker? She only little, she's been on her feet all day.
I haven't
She's not sat down since 9 o'clock this morning. Just for
I was
your
up
tea.
before then.
Yes, you were up
Miles
before
earlier,
then. Yeah.
I was. Right, so green sugar paste for this one. So again, this was just white sugar paste that I've coloured up with some green gel colour.
Yeah, they're absolutely loving the live. Well done.
Brilliant. So this is actually the same green that I used on the board there. So we're just recycling using leftover bits, which is another great thing, that if you make the cake and make the matching cupcakes, you can use any leftover little bits of paste. We're actually going to use some little bit of leftover buttercream that I had from the class to ice the cakes as well. So
Yeah, she is knackered. She is looking forward to her bed.
I thought you were saying I'll look at it.
Hey?
I thought you was going to say then that I'll look at it.
No, I said you
No,
are knackered.
I am, yeah.
They're saying you must be tired. Yeah,
It's
and I'm
5
saying
to
you
10,
are.
you know.
It's what time?
5 to 10.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I'm just like
It
the
is.
Duracell bunny, I just keep going.
Yeah.
I just keep going.
Do you know what? We
One
thought
last one.
we thought tonight's live was only going to be an hour, and I said, don't think you have to do 2 hours, Shirley. She said, no, I won't. I'm tired. I want to get me in bed. Here we
I
are.
just get carried away, sorry. Right, last one. So for this one, we are going to do like a grass texture. It's quick, this one, don't worry. Sorry if I'm keeping you all up.
No, we're used to it. They'd be amazed if we finished on time.
What have I done with it? I have got it.
They're saying they love the live. They've learnt a lot tonight. Fantastic cupcake toppers. Thank you very much.
No worries.
They've enjoyed watching you, Julie. Lots of love.
Brilliant. Okay, so what I've got here, it's just a nail brush. A clean one, obviously. Don't just grab one off the side of your sink. You could use a toothbrush as well, but obviously because you've got a lot more bristles on a nail brush, it's much quicker to use one of these. But you could use a toothbrush to do that texture, just to give it a little bit of a fine grass texture there. And then we're just going to cut our circle out, like so. Put that green paste.
They'd love knowing how to use the cutters, because so many of them got the cutters and never used them.
Never use them. Now you can.
And they're all enjoying being, and Karen says, really enjoying being part of the S&C family. Yeah.
Oh.
No, she's not driving home tonight. She's staying tonight.
No.
Don't worry.
Whew,
she came last night, staying for a couple of nights.
It's like a holiday. I'm away from the family. It's fabulous.
Yeah, she gets the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen all to herself.
Yeah.
We leave her, she locks up.
Yeah, I do. I've got my sparkling key ring. Oh, there it is. Look.
Nice, that key ring, isn't it?
It is nice.
Yeah,
I like
Karen
it.
bought it me for Christmas.
So this, have a look on the overhead. There we go. So this is the Katie Sue Designs. It's a Sugar Buttons one, and it's got a little snail, and it's got 2 toadstools as well. Okay, so it's quite a nice, cute little design. And that's Carol's nice new one, but I already had one that I brought with me. So rather than undoing that one.
Do you know, years ago, we used to sell this mould quite a lot years ago. This one and the door and the window.
Yeah.
And it was so popular, and then it just seemed to have died a death. So I'm hoping that you've
revitalised it.
I
love this one, it's really cute. So, just a little bit of white paste. With me 1 second. With all my rattling.
Falling off these chairs, me. I found myself a new chair. I'm either too fat for the chairs or there's something wrong with them. They're quite big though, aren't they?
Okay, so with the white sugar paste, again this is just straight sugar paste. I haven't added any Tyler powder or anything. It's not modelling paste. I've used some corn flour in the mould to stop the paste from sticking. I'm just going to drop that in there and just press it in with your fingers. I'm just going to add a little bit more just in there. So just be careful not to go over the edges, because if you go over the edges of the mould, if it spills out, it will give you kind of a real raggedy edge. That is a word, isn't it, raggedy?
Raggedy, yeah, that's right,
yeah.
Well, I don't know if it's a word, it's one I know that.
Yeah, sometimes I have the odd Yorkshire saying that's not really a proper word. I try not to use them. I try to use proper words. But sometimes I do slip into, things that my mum used to say when I was younger, and it might not actually be a real word.
They want to know, have you bonded with Lincoln and Chip? Well, you've had to have your tea with Lincoln and Chip, haven't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Gorgeous.
Round the dining room table. Lincoln insists on sitting with us.
Yeah. So you can see there, look, just by flexing the edge of the mould, it just drops straight out, look. And that's because we made sure that we put our corn flour in. So that's the 2 toadstool bottoms. Let's make the toadstool tops. Now there's a couple of ways you can do this. You can fill the little white cavities first by just rolling up some little teeny tiny balls.
Oh, this is
that
a nice
just fit
one.
straight in, look.
Jax Evans said, this is one of my favourite lives, especially since I have all the things that are being used, which I have never used because I didn't know how to. So thank you. That's
brilliant.
Lovely, isn't
that's
it?
lovely to hear. Fab. I say you're going to love the baby ones as well when I come to do the baby cupcakes offer live. So just keep dropping these little balls of white paste in, and then I'm just using my Dresden tool just to pat them down. So the other thing you could do, you could fill it just with red and then just add some white dots on afterwards if you wanted. So this does take a little bit of time and it is a little bit fiddly, but it does give you a nice effect.
Debbie Hargreaves says, Carol McFarland has a word of her own. Mingy.
Mingy.
No, I've always said that though. I don't know if it's a word or not a word.
Oh, what did I
It's
say
probably
today?
not. It's probably
Scabby.
not a word.
We had some scabby sugar paste today. Oh dear.
Are you saying mingy?
Mingy or mingy. Mingy is when you're being tight with something. So I'm going, you're a bit mingy there, aren't you? Because you're not giving much of it
I would
away.
say stingy.
Yeah,
Would
I'd
you?
say stingy.
Yeah.
I'd say mingy because you're being mean with it. And mingy means that it's like, ugh.
That's
Yeah.
minging.
Minging, yeah.
Yeah, well, mine's mingy.
Well,
Yours
that's
is
not
just
the
your
right
own
word.
variety.
Well, who says your word's right?
Everybody.
I like mingy. It's better than mint. What's the other word?
Don't say that
What
one.
was the other word that you said?
What? Mingy.
Instead of mingy. I say mingy.
Minging.
Minging.
Minging. No, I like mingy.
Okay,
Vote
so
out.
I think we've filled those in. Let's just do that one last one there. Obviously, if you're doing it at home, you're not going to have tired eyes that can't see that forgot to put her glasses on.
I gave you your glasses
I
before.
know, they're over there somewhere.
And you said
I
I'd
don't know
probably
what
go and
I've
put
done
them too far away to go and get them.
Yeah, I did say I don't need them tonight. I'm not doing anything detailed like I did this morning. Famous last words. So I'm just going to roll a little sausage of paste there, and that's just going to go at the bottom here of the mould. And all my little white bits of paste are dropping out now. Can I go home now? Oh dear. It's always the last 10 minutes that go to pot. I should have done these first, shouldn't I? Okay, where did that one come from? Up
On the
there.
left.
Oh, that's not going to stay in. Let's get a fresh piece. I promise this is easier to use than I'm making it look. I'm just tired.
Helen Miles says, thank you so much, Julie, for tonight's live. Loving everything and how it's explained. Thank you,
Excellent.
Karen and Simon.
Thank you.
Oh, see, I've got another lady who says Mingy, Sue Melling. Not the only one.
So I'm just going to roll this into a ball and then into a cone shape, just so that it's a similar shape to the toadstool in the mould before we start. I'm just going to lay that in and just press it down. Now just be careful when you're pressing it down, because if you use too much pressure, it will actually squash the bits of white paste and they'll all end up distorted. So we need to keep our fingers crossed that this is going to work, because I have a feeling all those little white bits are going to go flying around. Okay, so let's just give that a flex and see. Oh, that's not too bad, considering.
That looks great.
There we go. I think one of them didn't stick on properly, so we'll just roll a small ball of white paste and just pop another extra one there. And another one at the top. There we go. So that's one. As I say, the other way you can do it, so we'll just put that white bit at the bottom first, so we'll do a little sausage on this one here, look. The other way to do it is to fill it with the red paste first, and then you can just add the white bits on after it comes out of the mould. So if you don't want to be fiddling with all the little white bits, you can do it that way instead. I'll show you that way too. Okay, so we've done the little white bit at the bottom of the toadstool top, and then just add your red paste in there, and then again bit of a flex, and you can see there, look, where all the little red dots are, so that's where you can just add your little white pieces of paste. If you want to, if you need to, you can add a little bit of water to stick these in place. But if your paste is quite soft and sticky like this is, it will just stay on by itself. So as I say, both techniques mean that you have to roll little white balls of paste, but this one is a little less fiddly. And obviously, of course, you can paint it. So where all the little red dots are, you could paint those with white paint. Right, so that's that. Last little tiny bit and then we're done. I'll be pleased to know. There we are. Okay, so we're just going to fasten those onto the cupcake topper with a little bit of water. So that's the 2 bottoms.
They're all saying what a lovely live it is. They've had a smashing night tonight.
Oh, good. I am pleased to hear that. There we go. We'll just pop those on.
Well, if you're looking to see Julie again, do join her class for the fairy. This one's now the fairy mansion that she made in the
fairy
class.
Mansion, no fairy tree
So
houses
do
allowed.
join the class. You'll get to know Julie a lot more. Seriously consider the baby changing bag, because I think when you see those come out, you're going to really wish you had. And the mannequin has gone on the website. The Facebook page is not ready for the mannequin yet, but it is on the website for sale. So 3 fabulous classes there by Julie, and I'll get her to put all these cupcake toppers again, and I'll get her to quickly show you the fairy cake again.
Yeah.
We won't go through the others because she can show you them next time.
Okay, so let me just
They look
bring those
fantastic, Julie. Well done.
there. And like I say, all you would need to do is just pipe yourself a swirl of buttercream to pop these on. Let's grab one of those.
Yeah, I was going to say, quickly show.
There we go. So we've got one here, look. So it's just got a swirl of buttercream, just with your 1M nozzle or your 2D nozzle. Give it a good swirl, and then you can stick your little cake topper upside down on top. And then for the domed ones, you do exactly the same thing. Just pipe a swirl, not as big, just a small swirl on top, and then they just press down over the top of the buttercream.
Yeah.
To finish those
And the
off.
bigger the dome, the bigger the cutter you use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more buttercream you get underneath.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, they're absolutely loving this.
Brilliant.
And there's a few people booked on your new class already.
Oh, lovely.
Is the bear and the baby changing cake made of Rice Krispies?
Yes.
What's it made of? Yes, it's made of Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
So you're going to learn lots of things about Rice Krispies and marshmallows as well in that class.
Yeah.
So you've got to remember, when you see a picture of these cakes, it's amazing what else you do learn in there, and all the other hints and tips.
Absolutely.
I think ladies will tell you that from today's class, and I think just learning how to put the sugar paste on this cake today was a technique worth watching by itself. It was actually rather fascinating. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Really good.
So there we are.
Yeah, so do you want to quickly show them your mansion again? So well done, well done. They're beautiful, Julie, absolutely beautiful. They've all loved those.
Oh,
yes, it
fabulous.
does weigh a ton.
It does.
So
There we go.
We've now moved from fairy cake to fairy mansion.
Fairy Mansion. So as I say, we've got our fancy door at the front there, and our tradesman's entrance at the back. But we still made it pretty. We just put some flowers on.
I think it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the window, and like I say, the roots and things.
I love the idea with the roots as well, because there's so many people who make the tree, but those roots are really extra effective.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I like this groove bit that you've done here.
This one here.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. But it's just the ways, and if you haven't got an airbrush, don't panic, because I do actually show you how to colour it without an airbrush as well. Okay, so the majority of it I did airbrush, but I do show you the techniques to use if you haven't got an airbrush already. Or it might just give you the confidence if you've not got an airbrush, because it is such a simple technique for doing it. It might just give you that confidence to get the airbrush out of that cupboard where the cutters are. That same cupboard that everything's in, that nobody uses. Dig them out. Come and learn how to use it on a cake.
Right, well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome.
Worked very,
Thank you
very
for having
hard.
me.
So, well done. I hope you all join our class, especially this class, and then join the other ones. She's worked very hard, and I think you're going to love it. There's been lots of ladies in here today who've watched the class and done the class, and they've all said it was exceptional. The best compliment was she would have paid double, and it was still worth the money. So that's excellent as well.
Oh, it's fabulous.
And a big thank you to Simon. I know he's quiet, but that's because he's hiding his beard and he's muffled, because he knows he's in the naughty boys shop until he sorts it out. It needs trimming and sorting out into another colour.
It's not getting trimmed. It's been trimmed.
Oh God. Anyhow,
You've
so
had it trimmed for this 2 months.
so let me tell you what's going on for the rest of the week, because we've got a very busy week. So tomorrow afternoon is Buttercream Flowers, but Karen's going to do it. She's going to do the chocolate moulds, the new chocolate moulds we've got on the website, the BWD moulds, so she's going to use them. Tomorrow night we've got Tracy Mann at 6:30. Wednesday we're not doing anything, but you do have Tracy Mann's Royal Icing class, don't forget, on Wednesday night. Thursday morning, Tracy Mann's back in the kitchen. Thursday afternoon, I'm making Rice Krispie treats and cornflake treats with the grandchildren. Thursday afternoon, Laura's back in the kitchen, and I've had a request. Can Laura make, I've screenshot it actually, I can't remember what it was. But it's something to do with marshmallows, so I'll send it to her and ask her, covered in chocolate as well. I think I know what they are. I can't remember what it was, but somebody asked before. So I'll send that to Laura and ask her. And then Friday, we've got Joe Griffin in doing the Valentine's cupcake toppers. Okay, so a really busy week. So the reason Karen's doing the live tomorrow is if she doesn't do one tomorrow, she isn't doing one all week, and I'm not letting her get away with it. No, to be fair, she did offer, because I'm really busy, she did offer to do it, so that's great. And Julie, thank you for coming along. It's been such a long time since we've seen you.
It has,
but it feels like only yesterday.
I was going to say, it seems like so long ago, and then as I was driving up yesterday, it was like everything was seeming so familiar again. It was like, oh, I remember that. I remember seeing that bit. And then, like I say, once you get in the kitchen, it's like I was
just
never
like being
away.
at home, isn't it?
It is. Home
absolutely.
from home.
And thank you, Simon, for being your usual bubbly self.
I haven't been today.
No, I know. That's why I said it.
Usual bubbly self.
I know. That's why I said it.
Oh, did I put you off?
No. I just didn't want to say it was a miserable git.
extra concentration needed because of the cameras, because I'm so small. They can't see me. I had to keep zooming in.
Right, everybody. Night, night. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks very much. Bye.
Bye.